Senate will come to order now that the right person has applauded. I ask everyone present to please rise and repeat with me the Pledge of Allegiance to our nation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, in the absence of clergy, can we bow our heads in a moment of silence? Reading of the Journal.
The Senate, Monday, June 9th, the Senate met pursuant to adjournment. The Journal of Sunday, June 8th, was read and approved. On motion, Senate adjourned.
Without objection, the Journal stands approved as read. Presentations of petitions, messages from the Assembly. Secretary will read.
On page 17, Senator Klein moves a discharge from the Committee on Investigations and Government Operations, Assembly Bill number 8679, and substitute the identical Senate Bill number 2321A, third reading calendar 300. On page 19, Senator Griffo moves to discharge from the Committee on Banks, Assembly Bill number 9057, and substitute the identical Senate Bill number 6735, third reading calendar 366. On page 32, Senator Valesky moves to discharge from the Committee on Corporations and Authorities, Assembly Bill number 8819, and substitute the identical Senate Bill number 6731, third reading calendar 608. On page 35, Senator Bonasek moved to discharge from the Committee on Judiciary, Assembly Bill number 9757, and substitute the identical Senate Bill number 7244, third reading calendar 668. On page 39, Senator Hannan moved to discharge from the Committee on Higher Education, Assembly Bill number 9124A, and substitute the identical Senate Bill number 6871, third reading calendar 703. On page 40, Senator DeFrancisco moved to discharge from the Committee on Finance, Assembly Bill number 9344, and substitute the identical Senate Bill number 7072, third reading calendar 731. On page 41, Senator Golden moved to discharge from the Committee on Local Government, Assembly Bill number 9241A, and substitute the identical Senate Bill number 6931A, third reading calendar 742. On page 47, Senator Maziarz moved to discharge from the Committee on Transportation, Assembly Bill number 9518, and substitute the identical Senate Bill number 7223, third reading calendar 828. On page 52, Senator Lanza moved to discharge from the Committee on Local Government, Assembly Bill number 8862, and substitute the identical Senate Bill number 6656, third reading calendar 888. On page 54, Senator Maziarz moved to discharge from the Committee on Energy and Telecommunications, Assembly Bill number 6367, and substitute the identical Senate Bill number 2383, third reading calendar 918. On page 62, Senator Gallivan moves to discharge from the Committee on Children and Families, Assembly Bill number 9225B, and substitute the identical Senate Bill number 6926A, third reading calendar 1004. On page 63, Senator Klein moved to discharge from the Committee on Cultural Affairs, Tourism, Assembly Bill number 9387B, and substitute the identical Senate Bill number 7313, third reading calendar 1019. On page 69, Senator Ritchie moved to discharge from the Committee on Finance, Assembly Bill number 7706, and substitute it for the identical Senate Bill number 5482, third reading calendar 1076. On page 70, Senator Espaillat moved to discharge from the Committee on Cultural Affairs and Tourism, Assembly Bill number 5625A, and substitute the identical Senate Bill number 7605, third reading calendar 1090. On page 73, Senator Klein moved to discharge from the Committee on Judiciary, Assembly Bill number 9354, and substitute it for the identical Senate Bill 7119, third reading calendar 1125. On page 77, Senator DeFrancisco moved to discharge from the Committee on Finance, Assembly Bill number 9394, and substitute it for the identical Senate Bill 7208, third reading calendar 1220. On page 78, Senator Valesky moved to discharge from the Committee on Agriculture, Assembly Bill number 9215, and substitute it for the identical Senate Bill 7433, third reading calendar 1222. On page 78, Senator Larkin moved to discharge from the Committee on Judiciary, Assembly Bill number 8479, and substitute it for the identical Senate Bill number 7760, third reading calendar 1225.
Substitutions are ordered. Messages from the governor. Reports of standing committees. Reports of select committees. Communications and report from state officers. Motions and resolutions.
I believe Senator Janaris has a motion that he'd like to comment on.
Senator Janaris.
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of Senator Espaillat, please place a sponsor star on calendar numbers 1090 and 1196.
So ordered.
Okay.
Senator Libous.
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of Senator Seward, on page 24, I offer the following amendments to calendar number 490, Senate Print 3539, and I ask that said bill retain its place on the third reading calendar.
So ordered.
On behalf of Senator Laval, Mr. President, on page 33, I offer the following amendments to calendar number 624, Senate Print 6630, as that said bill retain its place on the third reading calendar.
So ordered.
Mr. President, on behalf of Senator Maziarz, on page 55, I offer the following amendments. Calendar number 925, Senate Print 7430, and as that said bill retain its place on the third reading calendar.
So ordered.
And on behalf of Senator Marchione, on page 58, I offer the following amendments to calendar number 973, Senate Print 6764, and as that said bill retain its place on the third reading calendar.
So ordered.
Mr. President, if you just give me a second here, we'll regroup to see where we want to go next.
You're on the clock, sir.
I believe there's a resolution by Senator O'Meara, 5723. Could we have it read in its entirety and call on the good senator for comments?
Secretary will read.
Legislative Resolution Number 5723 by Senator O'Meara, congratulating Sriram Hathwar upon the occasion of being crowned co-champion of the 2014 Scripps National Spelling Bee Championship on May 29, 2014. Whereas, it is the intent of this legislative body to commend and pay tribute to those young people who, by achieving outstanding success in educational competition, have inspired and brought pride to our majestic Empire State. And whereas, attended such concern in the full accord of its long-standing traditions, this legislative body is justly proud to congratulate Sriram Hathwar upon the occasion of being named co-champion of the 2014 Scripps National Spelling Bee Championship on Thursday, May 29, 2014, in National Harbor, Maryland. And whereas Sriram Hathwar, a 14-year-old from Painted Post, New York, is an 8th grade student at the Alternative School for Math and Science in Corning, New York. Sponsored by the Corning Rotary Club, he is the son of Jadish and Rupa Hathwar. And whereas this year was Sriram Hathwar's 5th trip to the Scripps National Spelling Bee, and he was favored to win. He is the first spelling bee champion from upstate New York since 1976. And whereas the 2014 Scripps National Spelling Bee was broadcast nationwide on ESPN and welcomed 281 spellers from around the world. The spellers range in age from 8 to 14 years old and were all vying for the esteemed title of champion. And whereas this astute young scholar assured himself at least a second-place finish by correctly spelling karasin, a family of small, brightly colored fish. And whereas Sriram Hathwar forged ahead and correctly spelled Skandas followed by Fezwada, with only 4 words remaining, he correctly spelled Sykomithia, assuring him at least a co-championship. The 2 students were declared co-champions after bee officials ran out of words to keep the duel going. And whereas Sriram Hathwar is achieving this high honor, may take just pride in the inspiration and contribution to the spirit of excellence he brings to his family, friends, and school and region. And whereas educational competitions which serve to better prepare our students for their future, participation in the marketplace of ideas are worthy of praise and support. And whereas, poised with enthusiasm and determined purpose, the scholar now stands honorably in eager anticipation of future challenges, understanding and appreciating the caring counsel and support provided by his teachers and parents. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this legislative body pauses deliberations to congratulate Sriram Hathwar upon the occasion of being crowned co-champion of the 2014 Scripps National Spelling Bee Championship on May 29, 2014, and be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution suitably engrossed be transmitted to Sriram Hathwar.
It's my pleasure to call on Senator O'Mara, a man who never runs out of words.
I'm not so sure about that, Mr. President, but thank you. And I thank the Secretary for pronouncing those words correctly, I think. I don't know that any of us would be able to spell those words, but we have the Hathwar family with us here today from my district. Sriram, who is there in the suit and tie, our National Spelling Bee co-champion. Jairam, his brother. Bhagirathi, his grandmother, and his parents, Rupa and Jagdish. Thank you all for being here with us today. It's an honor to have you, and thank you for representing us so well in the National Spelling Bee Contest. As was said in the resolution, there was co-champions this year for the first time in the 87-year history of the National Spelling Bee Championship, and there was co-champions because our winner here, Sriram, and his co-champion exhausted the words in the list from the competition, and so they ran out of words for them to do it, so they crowned them co-champions, which was great. However, the contest kind of went into extra innings when they appeared on Jimmy Kimmel this past week, and I would suggest you look up YouTube Jimmy Kimmel Spelling Bee Contest, and they had the co-champions on with a spelling contest with Jimmy Kimmel. Sriram was the only one that got the word correct. However, it was not really a fair competition because the person asking the words was dressed in a bee outfit and speaking in a very cheesy Mexican accent, I believe, trying to mispronounce the words, but Sriram actually got the word right, juggernaut, that was not being pronounced at all the way it's supposed to be. But it's just an honor to have you here, and from Painted Post, New York. And I learned this morning that Sriram was in a preschool class with my son Thomas at the Chemung Valley Montessori School. Thomas has not gone on to any spelling bee championships, although he did quite well in a spelling bee contest at St. Mary Our Mother School throughout his elementary school years, winning in the school one year. But Sriram, congratulations. Thank you for representing us and making us proud to have you here in the state of New York. We welcome you here today, and please enjoy your stay in the Capitol.
The question is on the resolution. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. The resolution is adopted. Congratulations, Sriram. To your whole family, enjoy and keep on studying. Keep on studying. God bless.
President, could we take up Senate Resolution? It's a privileged resolution on former Senator Roy Goodman, please. There's no number.
You have it? You know the number? Yeah.
Number on the form.
Okay. Which? It's a privileged resolution. Senator, there is no number. Secretary will read the privileged resolution.
Legislative resolution by Senators Skelos, Klein, Stewart-Cousins, Golden, Lanza, and Kruger, paying tribute to the distinguished life and accomplishments of the Honorable Roy M. Goodman, former New York State Senator. Whereas, it is fitting and proper that this legislative body recognize and pay tribute to the life and accomplishments of a distinguished former colleague, New York State Senator Roy Matz Goodman, whose career, purpose, and commitment remain a great example of what a noble calling public service should be. And whereas, with sorrow and regret, this legislative body mourns the passing of Roy M. Goodman on June 3rd, 2014, and pauses to note significant accomplishments of his meritorious life. And whereas Roy Goodman was a larger-than-life figure during his 3 decades as a senator representing the 26th Senate District on the east side of Manhattan, from which position he served as effective conduit to Albany state governmental leadership for several generations of Republican and Democratic mayors of New York City. was primary author of important changes in New York City Charter, sponsor of over 1,200 laws designed to improve the lives of all residents of this great state, and was a public official committed to defining and solving problems as chair of the Investigations, Taxation, and Government Operations Committee of the Senate. And whereas, in 1955, he married the late Barbara Fuhrer and had 3 children, his daughters Clara Goodman Pellegrini Cloud and Leslie Goodman, and son Randolph, all of whom survive him, along with 6 grandchildren. And whereas, Roy Goodman was a leader of moderate wing of the Republican Party in the state, a fiscal conservative with a social conscience who championed tax cuts and waged a war on government waste, while insisting on keeping the social services safety net intact. And whereas, one of the great loves of his life was the arts, which he viewed as important for the development of mind, soul, and humanity of people, and he was able to bring state resources to bear in support of expansions of the arts as chairman of the Senate Special Committee on the Arts and Cultural Affairs and the leading legislative advocate of the arts in New York State. As a member of the National Endowment for the Arts Council, for which he was named Ambassador for the Arts by the National Endowment for Arts in recognition of his unwavering support of the arts and cultural affairs, and as Commissioner of the National Commission of Fine Arts by appointment of President Ronald Reagan. The first President George Bush later named him to the National Council on the Arts. And whereas, Roy Goodman was a Fellow for Life of the Metropolitan Museum of Art, a patron of the Metropolitan Opera, patron of the New York Philharmonic Society, and president of the Goodman Family Foundation, a philanthropic trust, a member of the Council on Foreign Relations, and a recipient of an honorary doctorate of human letters from Pratt Institute, and received honorary awards from the Kennedy Center for Distinguished Government Leadership in Arts and Education, Carnegie Hall, the National Arts Club, the City University of New York, Brotherhood in Action, the Junior Chamber of Commerce, the Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Children, Odyssey House, the Ripon Society, the UJA Federation of New York, the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, the Columbia Association for Promoting Well-Being of Police Officers, Our Town, the Statesman Father of the Year Award of the National Father's Day Committee, Lenox Hill Neighborhood Association, the New York City Police Foundation, the Fire Safety Foundation, Playwrights Horizon, Catholic Interracial Council, Stanley Isaacs Association, New York Benevolence Council, Artists Fellowship, South Street Seaport, Town Hall, New York Foundling Hospital, Family Planning Advocates of New York, New York State Division of Human Rights, New York State Humane Society, Kennedy School of Government, and the U.S. Treasury Department for Patriotic Services. And whereas, as a member of the then dominant moderate to liberal wing of the Republican Party that centered around former New York State Governor Nelson Rockefeller, U.S. Senator Jacob Javits, and former New York City Mayor John Lindsay, his talent and abilities were such that he was perennially considered as a likely candidate for mayor of New York City, for a United States Senator, for a post as a cabinet officer, and for New York State Comptroller. And whereas Roy Goodman grew up on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, graduated with honors from Harvard College in 1951, and received a master's degree with distinction from the Harvard Graduate School of Business Administration in 1953. And he then served as an officer in the Navy, and in the early 1960s, after a brief career in investment banking, joined the family business, becoming president of Xlax, Inc. at age 32, tripling its value in a short time and selling it for tens of millions of dollars. And whereas he was hooked by one of the great loves of his life, the love of public service, working first on the 1965 John Lindsay mayoral campaign and then becoming finance commissioner and treasurer of the city of New York, and served in the mayor's super cabinet in Mr. Lindsay's first term, position he held with distinction until 1968 when he left City Hall to run for a vacant state Senate seat, which he won. And whereas from 1972 through 75, he served as chairman of the New York State Charter Revision Commission for New York City, which significantly revised city government structure, in a task accounted by most people as impossible, as most of the panel's members were Democrats who viewed him warily and fought amongst themselves, even as then-Mayor Abraham D. Beam opposed the commission at every turn, and yet Roy Goodman was able to bring the group into agreement behind a set of recommendations adopted by city voters in 1975 at the height of the New York City fiscal crisis, which changes that greatly expanded the power of community boards, required balanced budgets, and public disclosure of labor contracts, loosened mayoral control of spending, and gave the city comptroller broad power to audit agencies. And whereas Roy Goodman ran for mayor of New York City in 1977, ultimately losing to Mario Cuomo and the mayoral winner Edward I. Koch, with both of whom he became friends in the Albany go-between. And whereas, as chairman of the Committee of Investigations, he conducted investigations and inquiries that resulted in many changes in law and rules, including medical precautions at boxing matches and controls on investments by public authorities. Roy Goodman also identified emerging issues and took on very tough battles, including convincing the Albany leaders in 1984 to establish the first in the nation AIDS Institute to combat the emerging and still mysterious at the time AIDS crisis. He also was the first legislator to expose the scourge of crack cocaine in the mid-1980s. Roy Goodman's Investigations Committee also issued a scathing report detailing the breakdown in the city's mechanism to build schools, which resulted in the creation of the new School Construction Authority to take over the task of school construction. And whereas Senator Goodman's major initiatives include sponsorship of legislation to increase police patrols and toughen gun and ammunition controls, provide tax fairness for the owners of co-ops and condos, expand women's rights to choose and increase protection against domestic violence, cut the state income and corporate taxes, provide better housing and tenant protection, protect children against abuse, combat discrimination, and spearhead City Hall efforts to increase state aid for New York City. And whereas in 1981, Roy Goodman became the Republican Party chairman of Manhattan, a post he held for 2 decades, hosting Republicans from around the country at party dinners and events. Roy Goodman built the New York County, the Republican Party, into a powerhouse organization, which provided, as he put many times, the high-octane fuel, which led to elections of Assemblyman John Ravitz, Council members Charles Millard and Andrew Aristoff on Manhattan's East Side, who, along with Congressman Bill Green and Senator Goodman, formed the nucleus for years of moderate Republican leadership and government. And whereas, after leaving the Senate, Mayor Michael R. Bloomberg and Governor George E. Pataki appointed Senator Goodman president of the United Nations Development Corporation, an agency charged with building new offices to the United Nations and a park along the East River. And whereas Roy Goodman's commitment to public service extended to his friendship and mentoring of numerous individuals who served with him and served his community and the people of the state of New York with intelligence and caring dedication, contributing significantly to the quality of life in his constituents and the communities of the state of New York. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this legislative body pauses deliberations to honor the memory and accomplishments of the Honorable Roy M. Goodman, and be it further resolved that copies of this resolution, suitably engrossed, be transmitted to his daughters Leslie Goodman and Clara Goodman Pellegrini Cloud and his son Randolph Goodman.
On the resolution, Senator Libous.
Thank you, Mr. President. My colleagues, you heard the resolution on what I would call a giant of this chamber, Senator Roy Goodman. Senator Goodman served here with great distinction, and his accomplishments, as the resolution state, go on and on and on, and they are all real, every one of them. Anything that Senator Goodman got involved with, he put his full effort into. And not only did he love this House and this chamber and what the Senate stood for, but he also loved the city of New York, which he represented. The city of New York would often come first, as probably it should have, but he did it with such great passion, and I'm almost embarrassed to stand on this floor and make comment, because when Senator Goodman got up to speak, this entire chamber, including the gallery, would be totally quiet, because many of the words he used were above my pay grade. And he was such an incredible speaker, and was just so eloquent on making his point, whether it be something for his beloved city or as was mentioned, the arts, which he put an awful lot of his time into, not only the arts of New York City, but for all of New York State. Senator Goodman had many sides to him. While he was a very serious statesman, and I referenced with Senator Kruger that I believe when he ran for office, he put up signs that said he was the statesman of the Senate. And I don't think anyone would ever argue that. He was indeed the statesman of the New York State Senate. And while he was a very serious and committed individual, he also loved entertainment and joking. He was fun to go to dinner with. He always had a repertoire of jokes or funny stories that would keep you on the heels of your feet for hours at a time. When we had a Senate function, he would often be part of the overall entertainment. I can remember doing a skit with him where I think he had me in a wig with long hair. I can't even remember what it was so long ago, but I do know that our colleagues enjoyed it immensely, and the senator was full of his good spirit. As I said, you know, he indeed was a champion for New York City, a champion for the arts, and certainly was committed to those so many good programs that were mentioned in the reso. Senator Goodman would sometimes kid around. I know oftentimes he would call me Tommy Boy, and he would tell me to come over because he maybe had another story that he wanted to tell. But he was indeed a serious statesman. He was a giant of this chamber, and Mr. President, I would say that it will be a long time before another individual like Roy Goodman will come through this chamber. He will be missed, not only by his family, but all of us as friends. And it is just indeed an honor for me to stand before this House and make some simple comments about such a great man.
Thank you, Senator Libous. Senator Kruger.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd also like to rise to pay my respects and honor to Roy Goodman. Senator Goodman, as Senator Libous just referenced, was known in my community as the statesman of the state Senate and was the last of the Rockefeller Republicans. His final campaign for office was also my first, and his graciousness and good humor were on full display from that campaign's beginning to end. When victorious against me after a 6-week recount, he jokingly dubbed himself Landslide Goodman. In fact, Senator Goodman and my father worked together and were friends, and he could never understand why my father couldn't convince me not to run against him. I think many people here now know me and know that that wasn't a possibility. But after Senator Goodman retired, he continued to show personal warmth and a deep knowledge of his commitment to the public and to our community. He served here with distinction for 33 years. Senator Libous listed out some of his accomplishments. I like to highlight the fact that as his replacement in the Senate, he and I continue to agree on issues of reproductive rights, tenants' rights, progressive social issues that should be moving further ahead, that he worked to try to get to move further ahead in his tenure in the Senate. Even today, after 12 years in the Senate, people in my community still stop to talk to me about Senator Goodman and their memories of him. My condolences go out to his family and his grandchildren, his daughters, his son. And yes, we just listened to this full resolution. We should all set as goals to be as broad-thinking and accomplished as Senator Roy Goodman was during his tenure. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Laval.
Thank you, Mr. President. It was a great pleasure for me to know Roy Goodman in two ways. One, as a staff member working in this Senate, and then as a colleague. As Senator Libous has said, and Senator Kruger, he was a giant here in this chamber. I would say he was blue chip pedigree in every respect: intellect, culture, his wit, probably only to be matched by Senator Raul Lewis from the other side, who could, both of them, go and tell joke after joke without any cues or any briefing from anyone. They were both terrific. Roy Goodman created and was the chairman for many, many years of the Investigations Committee, and used that committee to cover many of the topics of the day that needed scrutiny. And that he did with his intellect and following through on each and every subject area. One of the funniest things that I can recall is going out to dinner with Roy Goodman and a bunch of other senators, and as Senator Libous indicated, he would, through dinner, just one joke after another after another. After dinner was done, the check comes, and Roy Goodman says, "Please, let me pick up the check." Now, Senator Goodman was a man of means, and so no one at the table moved a muscle toward that check, and so he picked it up. Nor did anyone feel guilty that he picked that check up. Roy Goodman, during the budget processes, would handle the area of the budget. And he was the first person to come in with an easel and huge colored pie-shaped pictures that dealt with the budget. That was a time before we had the internet and could do things the way we do today using the computer. In closing, we heard the resolution, and Senator Libous said it. Everything in that resolution could have been even understated, because he was intellectually, and as I said, a pedigree of culture and the arts. He was the person to be able to talk about these various subject areas. And so we honor his loss, and certainly to the people of the Silk Stocking District that he represented for many, many years. It is a loss to them, the city of New York, and New York State.
Thank you, Senator Laval. Senator Stavisky.
Thank you, Mr. President. I served very briefly with Senator Goodman when he was in the state Senate. However, I got to know him in the 1970s when he served as chair of the New York City Charter Revision Commission, and my husband was on that commission. And this was a group that studied all areas of New York City governance, and in fact studied the governance of London, Belgrade, Yugoslavia, and Stockholm, Sweden, firsthand. He arranged, we paid our own, we spouses were paid for by the spouses, and I believe that a foundation paid for their trip, so this was not a taxpayer junket. On the other hand, it was a very informative trip, and I must tell you, I think Senator Goodman missed his calling when he was dealing with the ambassador from Washington, from the United States, to the Court of St. James in London. And that's where I think his talents really lay, in dealing with diplomatic issues, and he was at his prime. His choice of language was remarkable, colorful. I remember thinking on one of those occasions that he was the first grown man I ever heard use the word balderdash. He was widely respected by everybody, and certainly, obviously, represented his district with distinction and with flavor, and with a bipartisan attitude that is often lacking in today's society. So, and I remember his wife quite well, because she was very involved with Columbia University. She served as a trustee at one of the colleges when my husband was an adjunct professor in the School of International and Public Affairs at Columbia. And I too extend my sympathies to his family, but they have, I'm sure, great memories of their father and of his service in the Senate. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Nozzolio.
To my colleagues, I rise with heavy heart to mourn and celebrate the lives of a great American, a wonderful New Yorker, a fine man, and a great contributor to this institution. Roy Goodman was bright, articulate, erudite, and extremely cheerful. He had a big heart, a heart that extended to all who joined this body. I served with him for, I believe, at least 6 years, and that it was an honor to be in his presence, to know what he was thinking, to live some of his life experiences, because he certainly was long on sharing those with us, particularly the new senators. I appreciated Roy Goodman. I appreciated the fact that we may not have always agreed on matters of substance, but Roy Goodman was never disagreeable. He was a gentleman's gentleman, one who had a great deal of respect for every member of this body. He loved this institution of the New York State Senate, and that he certainly was a great senator, one who cared about his constituents, one who loved his state and loved his nation. We mourn his passing, but are pleased to have shared time here in this body with Senator Roy Goodman. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Nozzolio. Is there anyone else who wishes to be heard on the resolution? Seeing none, the question is on the resolution. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The resolution is adopted. Senator Libous. It is my understanding that Senator Skelos would like to open the resolution.
Yes, Mr. President, I would offer two things. Number one, Senator Skelos, we'd like to offer up the resolution to all members to go on, and if someone does not want to go on the resolution, to please let the desk know. And I would ask my colleagues to join me in a minute of silence for Senator Goodman, please.
Resolution is open for co-sponsorship. Anyone who wishes not to be on the resolution, please, at your own peril, notify the desk. Senator Libous.
I would like to, if we go back to motions, and we are on motions, I'd like to adopt the resolution calendar with the exception of resolutions 5714 and 5723 and 5760. I believe 5723 we've already passed.
Yes, we did.
And possibly, okay?
Yes. The motion is on the resolution calendar. All in favor of adopting the resolution calendar with the exceptions as noted, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The calendar is adopted, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. I believe there's a resolution by Senator Flanagan. 5801, could we have it read in its entirety? Call on Senator Flanagan.
Senator will read, clerk will read.
Legislative Resolution Number 5801 by Senator Flanagan, honoring the hard work, dedication, and commitment of the members of the New York State Legislative Messenger Service. Whereas, it is the sense of this legislative body to honor individuals who have faithfully served the people and the government of the state of New York with dedication and conscientious service. And whereas, the New York State Legislative Messenger Service was founded in 1973 as an avenue to provide job training and opportunities to individuals with disability. Emphasis is placed on understanding and amplifying an individual's strengths while providing support, training, and structure to lessen any barriers created by their disability. And whereas this outstanding service plays a very important role in expediting the work of the New York State Legislature. And whereas this legislative body is justly proud to honor the hard work, dedication, and commitment of the members of the New York State Legislative Messenger Service. And whereas for more than 4 decades, the New York State Legislative Messenger Service, located in the Legislative Office Building, has provided a communications network throughout the Empire State Plaza in neighboring state buildings for Senate and Assembly legislators and their staffs. And whereas the dedicated members of the New York State Legislative Messenger Service can always be relied on to provide swift and dependable service. And whereas, under the able leadership of Kevin Cather, Director, and Beth Bonesteel, Assistant Director, the members of the New York State Legislative Messenger Service, whom we see hurrying about their rounds, include Daniel Bennis, Michael Cohen, Nancy Comley, Bill Crow, Michelle Daly, Adam Denenberg, Robert DiCiano, William Faulkner, Sharon Forcutis, Marcus Gagnon, William Gerard, Barbara Gostola, Catherine Griffin, Kimberly Lapp, Barbara McDonald, Kathy O'Brien, Patrick O'Hara, Khadijah Oliver, Francis Rotundo, Kathleen Schleich, Barbara Wojciechowicz, and Valerie Zay. And whereas the legislative body is this legislative body is pleased to recognize and pay just tribute to the members of the New York State Legislative Messenger Service, individuals who embody the true American spirit, demonstrating personal determination and significantly contributing to the workings of the New York State Legislature. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this legislative body pause its deliberations to honor the hard work, dedication, and commitment of the members of the New York State Legislative Messenger Service, and be it further resolved that copies of this resolution suitably engrossed be transmitted to the members of the New York State Legislative Messenger Service.
Speak on the resolution, Senator Flanagan.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Senator Libous. Today's a great day. We just heard the accomplishments of a former colleague who was legendary in his own right and an intellectual giant. And we have with us, really, this is great for everyone, but these are all the people who work for the Legislative Messenger Service, and we thought it was appropriate to take time out of their busy day to honor them and give them plaudits for the work they do and really recognize them and thank them. So there are a couple of different things that I think everyone might want to know. They deliver over 95,000 newspapers a year. They deliver on average 72,000 packages a year. It is common to deliver over 550 deliveries a day. They have messengers who do computer operations, telephone coordinators. They deal with 600 legislative and state offices, including the LOB, State Capitol, all the agency buildings. So while we may think they all come just to our offices and help us out every single day, they're all over the place. And everyone recognizes how important a function they perform for everyone. They also have training opportunities for individuals with disabilities, and I want to read a quote from their website because I think it's spot on. Yes, we may have a disability, but we are so much more. We are independent, productive, and part of the community. We are sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, mothers, and fathers. We love our families. Our dreams are just like yours, and like you, we know what it takes to get there. Treat us as equals, recognize all the uniqueness that makes all of us special. So let us drop the word disability and recognize we are all the same. Now, this came from the staff who helped put this together. Of course, we have great people to help us. Some of the words to describe our amazing legislative messenger service: remarkable work ethic, loyal, joyful, team-oriented, supportive, friendly, incredibly hardworking, professional, dedicated, energetic, helpful, positive, humorous, efficient, kind, caring, compassionate. They are led by two wonderful people who, in terms of years of service, are really like newbies compared to some of the people that work there. So we have Kevin Cather, who is the head of the service. He only has 11 years of service. And Beth is the assistant director with almost 15 years. But I want to just underscore for everyone, if you take in total the years of service of the legislative messengers, it's over 500 years of service. So I'm going to ask, as I call your name, if you would be kind enough, if you can, stand up. We would certainly appreciate it, because I do think it's important. This first gentleman is like the John Markey of the messenger service, and that's Frank Rotundo, who has almost 41 years of service. He maxed out a long time ago. Barbara McDonald has almost 40 years of service. Bill Gerard comes in slightly over 37 years. Not here, okay. And I think the mayor of the Capitol and the LOB, Barb, has somewhere around just south of 35 years service. Bill Faulkner, 34 years of service. You're not here either, okay. Nancy Comley, 33 and a half years. Nancy? Adam Denenberg, almost 28 years. Adam. A fine lad, Patrick O'Hara, with 27 years of service. Kimberly Lapp, 26 years. Kimberly. Sharon Forkudis, 24 and a half. Valerie Zay, 24 and a half as well. And Valerie and Sharon started on the same day. Now we have Michael Cohen at 21 years. Kathy O'Brien, who's one of the messenger coordinators, she's got 21 years as well. Billy, where's Billy? Billy Crow. All right, Billy, 17 years. Robert DiCieno, 16 years. All right. I mentioned Beth and Kevin. Catherine Griffin, 9 years. Daniel Bennis, 6.5 years. Okay, you're not here either. All right. Michelle Daly, 5 years. And a man who walks with a swagger from the messenger service, good man Marcus. Marcus, 5.5 years. Kathleen Slice at 3.5 years, roughly. Kathleen. And then last, but by certainly no means least, Khadija Oliver with less than a year, but part of the team. Mr. President, let me just close on this. I think I can take the liberty of trying to speak for my colleagues to a limited extent. We are grateful, we are proud, we are lucky, we are fortunate, and I feel like when I interact with the messengers, it always helps keep things in perspective. We should all be as congenial and as, good-spirited as they are. They do fantastic work for all of us and for the public. So when people talk about people who are public servants, here are an exemplary group of people that I think we should all stand up and give a thunderous round of applause. Yeah. Mr. President, a glaring political failure. I probably because the name was so hard to pronounce, Barbara Wojciechowicz. Barbara. Hey, Barbara! With over 23 years of service, Mr. President, thank you.
You will understand if your mail is late tomorrow. Senator Maziarz.
I couldn't beat what Senator Flanagan said. They do an excellent job. Thank you. When my constituents ask me what makes the New York State Senate run, I tell them the great messenger service that we have. I do have to admit that I appreciate and like the Buffalo Bills fans more than I like the New York Giants fans. But that's it. Right, Adam? All right.
Senator Griffo.
I just wanted to add my voice. Thank you all so much for your hard work. Job well done each and every day. Not only do you do it in a responsible way, you're so respectful and courteous, and you just make everybody smile. Even when you're having a difficult day, we all feel better because of the interaction we have together. So thanks for your hard work. Thanks for a job well done. God bless you all.
Senator DeFrancisco.
First of all, you look great for 500 years. Secondly, you know, everything's been said by John, but I want to praise John Flanagan. This is a great idea. You know, in all the stuff we do around here, we always seem to be attracted to those people who are asking us for something or complaining about something. We try to move things and get bills. And sometimes you don't give the recognition to those people who do everything right and make our jobs easier. And we just take it for granted. Because I've never heard a messenger complain. I've never heard a messenger be anything but cheerful and friendly and efficient. So, thank you, John, for doing this. We should have done this years ago when you guys were only 400 years old, okay? So thank you very much.
Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I, too, want to rise and just congratulate each and every one of you on the tremendous work that you do for each and every one of us every single day. You know, we rely upon you. We see you not just as colleagues of ours and employees of the state of New York, but we've come to recognize you as our friends. And when we're walking down the hall and you're coming at us and we're having a tough day and you're smiling and you're asking us about our family and you know more about us than even we know about us sometimes, it really goes a long way to showing the type of people that you are, the type of commitment that you have to your job, to us as senators, to the state of New York, and to the people that we all serve with each and every one of you. So thank you for your service, thank you for your smiles, thank you for your friendship, and keep up the great work.
Senator Breslin.
Thank you, Mr. President. As I look over at the messengers who are my coworkers, my friends, people I can put my head on your shoulder and get advice from, and you're also, for the most part, my constituents. And when the building is empty, I'm generally here during the off-season, and thank you for inviting me to your parties, your birthday parties and Christmas parties and other parties. You have made my life better. You've made my life better for allowing me to be part of your team in many respects. And to your leader, Kevin, for all you've done, and for each and every one of you, you've made our lives better. And to Senator Flanagan, what a wonderful, wonderful gesture to bring you out here where you belong, to be with us. And it's again my pleasure to know you and your families. And as I won't identify the person, but I know frequently on a day when I say, "How you doing?" and I get the reply, "So far, so good." And you know who you are. That's what all of us should think about, that have that smile every day to make people's life brighter. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Senator Ball.
Hey guys, how are you? It's an absolute pleasure. I do want to thank Senator Flanagan for doing this, and whoever created this program, I don't know who did, but whoever did do this should truly be commended, and this legislature should be commended. And I echo the comments of previous colleagues that talk about how this can be a very tough place sometimes, a very tough capital. You know, when I think about leaving this capital and putting up the spurs on my political career, and I think about what I'm going to miss, because there's a whole heck of a lot of stuff that I'm not going to miss. When I think about what I'm going to miss, I consider many of you to be friends. I know many of you got to know Hannah, the dog that I was supposed to not maybe have in the Capitol or whatever, but I did have in the Capitol all the time, and how close many of you became to her, and how close you are now to Tito. When I think about leaving, I know we're supposed to do a party next week, and I told Krista on my staff, I said 3 things. Number 1, Tom O'Mara is going to pay. That's number 1. Number 2, we got to make sure it's at McGeary's. And number 3, please make sure that you invite the messengers. And that offer absolutely stands. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for making this a more tolerable, better, humane place. You guys are not just the legislative messengers. For this Capitol, you're messengers from God. And you allow insight for all the leaders that are here about why we should be here and what we should be fighting for, and the humanity that brings us all together. So God bless each and every one of you, and I look forward to keeping in touch for many years.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to add my thanks also. I've been in this state capitol in one capacity or another for 18 years now, which is more than I care to remember. But originally as a staff member in the State Assembly, then as a member of the Assembly, and now the last 4 as a member of the Senate. And there's never been a day when encountering one of these fine public servants where a smile hasn't come to my face, even on the most stressful of days. People that take great pride in their work, without whom this building could not function. And yet they do it with such a humility and such grace and humor that it makes working here a little bit nicer each day when we cross their paths. So I want to add my words of thanks to all of them and look forward to continuing to see them in the years to come. Thank you.
Senator Libous.
Thank you, Mr. President. I, too, want to join my colleagues and thank Senator Flanagan for the resolution, but thank certainly all of you. And while I don't have the opportunity to give an example for each and every one of you, I'm just going to pick out 3 folks that have inspired me in your ranks, and certainly all of you have been pretty exciting to work with. But Marcus, where's Marcus? Marcus, if you could teach the members of this chamber how to extend their hand like you extend your hand in friendship to all of us, it would be a wonderful place. And I just want to say that it's been a pleasure working with you, and I want to continue to work with you, because every time I see you, you say, "Hello, Senator." You always extend your hand of friendship, and that's something very, very special. Where's my girlfriend, Barbara? Where is she? Barbara, where are you? Barbara. And again, I apologize. I can't name. We'd be here forever. But Barbara, you have brought sunshine to so many of our lives, just like your other colleagues have. Every time we see you, you're smiling. You know every one of us by name. You know everything, as I think Senator Kennedy said. You know more about us than we do. And it has been exciting to work with you. We look forward to continue to working with you and your colleagues. And keep that smile on your face, because we love it. Thank you. And where's my hockey buddy, Adam? Where is he, Adam? Adam. I miss you. I haven't seen you as much since I've been in the Capitol, but Adam and I talk about hockey, or we have over the years, and he was pretty much up to speed on the Binghamton Senators. And of course, Adam, you know, it was no coincidence we named the team the Binghamton Senators. But anyway, I know that the Rangers aren't doing too good, and oh. What's scary is he's usually right. He's usually right. But again, I've always enjoyed talking hockey in particular and sports with you, and you've certainly brightened up my life and everybody else here. And thank you for who you are and certainly sharing those stories with us. But to all of you, and again, I'd love to go through each and every one, but you really have, you've done something very special for us over the years. Some 500 years total. That's a long time, and I'm not sure that Senator Flanagan is quite that old yet, but maybe 450. But thank you. I mean, from all of us here, we enjoy working with you. We enjoy being a part of what you do every day, and thank you for bringing a lot of cheer, not a little cheer, but a lot of cheer into our lives. God bless each and every one of you.
Senator Larkin.
Thank you, Mr. President. You know, I look around here and I see 500 years, but when Bill Conklin from Brooklyn, Kenny Laval, and I were staff members, some of you weren't even planned on. But those first months, there was a gentleman by the name of Mr. Russo. Who remembers Russo from the background there? Gentleman, right? Was he a gentleman? Can't hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Russo had the heavy stick, right, Ken? But we would take great appreciation by you coming to us. You know, we moved from this building over to the other building, and there was confusion on floors, and mail got stressed out the first month or two. But I remember running between here and 813, and then Kenny, you were in 814, and we were back and forth in different rooms. But I never saw one of you saying, "Ugh, can't do it, it's terrible." I all heard you say, "Don't worry, there's always tomorrow." You know, John Flanagan put this together. You know, John is a soft heart because he knows deep down what you mean to us, speaking for all of us. You know, you represent a group of young Americans that have a challenge, and you accepted the challenge and you made things better for everybody else. You made other people realize what they can do and how they can better themselves. You know, we're a better society because of you young people. What did you do? Good morning, Senator. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, you got a lot of mail today. Is any of it any good? I hope so. And when you bring a box to us and said, "Hope there's some goodies in it," never did I ever see one of you that had a down day. You might have had a down day inside, but the exposure that you gave to us said to each and every one of us, if we could stop and greet you, thank you for making our day. Thank you for the work you do, because without you, this place would be a zoo. Thank you, and God bless you.
Senator Marchionne.
I want to add my thanks to all of you as well. I only have 18 months here. You guys have 500 years. But you know, in my short time here, I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of nice people, but none nicer than all of you. There's people within your ranks who have invited me to their home. And I'll tell you how touching that is to me, that as I walk through the hall like the rest of you, you always say hello, you make time to visit, and I appreciate that. I appreciate all of your service. I just want to congratulate you on this special day. You are really very, very deserving of this recognition, and I just want to add my thanks to say thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you.
Senator Skelos.
Mr. President, Marcus, let me start off that Senator Libous mentioned how you have a great handshake, and you do. Senator Breslin, be careful of a primary. He's a great young man. And Adam, I've known you for so many years, and my son's name is Adam. And Barbara. Barbara has the way, and so many of you do, to stop you in the hall, especially when you think things are horrible, and really by the smile and asking about whether it's about my wife or my son Adam, who many of you have seen grow up over the years. All of you have a way of putting life in perspective. And for that, we thank you. You know, we all think that this place goes because of us. This place really functions because of you. So I know all of us, Republicans and Democrats here, we respect what you do, and we love you as a group, and we love you individually. So thank you very much.
Anyone else wishing to speak? Seeing none, the question is on the resolution. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? I hear none. The resolution is adopted. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. God bless you.
President, we want to open the resolution up to all the members of the Senate. If for some reason somebody does not want to go on the resolution, please let the desk know.
Resolution will be open to all. Anyone who doesn't want to be on the resolution, just let the desk know. Senator Libous.
Mr. President, could you please call on Senator Kachik for the purpose of an announcement, please?
Senator Kachik.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a very special young man in the chambers today that I would like to introduce to everyone. His name is Tyler Benjamin Searles. Could you please stand? Tyler Benjamin Searles. Thank you, Senator.
That's because he's a Marine.
Tyler Benjamin Searles last year achieved the Boy Scouts' highest honor of Eagle Scout, and we will be passing a resolution.
Senator.
Oh, wait. Sure.
Mr. President, I think they're taking a picture, and then I think once... Oh, shit, my doctor.
Thank you, Senator Kachik, for your indulgence. Please start again.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise today to recognize a constituent from the town of Ravenna, Tyler Benjamin Searles, who is here with us today. Tyler is also joined by his parents, Alicia and Brian Searles. And I want to note that Brian Searles is the director of Senate Revision. He's one of our employees. He's a member of our family. Tyler attained the Eagle Scout rank, and we will be passing a resolution in a few days recognizing his many achievements. But I want to especially make sure he got here today and was recognized for his accomplishments, because he won't be here in a few days. After graduating from high school, Tyler enlisted in the United States Marine Corps. And when he went to basic training on November 18th and graduated February 14th. He completed his School of Infantry in Jacksonville, North Carolina on May the 8th. He is currently stationed in the Marine Corps' Air Ground Combat Center, 29 Palms in California, and will be leaving in a few days to return to California. He is scheduled for deployment to the Middle East in September for 7 months. One of the projects that Tyler engaged in to obtain his Eagle Scout recognition was to help his local VFW post in Ravenna, post 9594. They had a program called a medical equipment loan program, and what this program did was to provide medical equipment to anyone who needed it, and we're talking about crutches, wheelchairs, walkers. The program was being taken over by the Knights of Columbus, but they needed someone to help with the transfer, to take care of the equipment, to clean it, to recycle what wasn't going to be used. Tyler did that on his own and cleaned up the space, recycled what could be used, and made sure that the things that were going to be used were transferred to the new folks who were doing the loan program. This is a young man who his family is incredibly proud of. We are all proud of. This is a young man who inspires people like me every day to work as hard as we possibly can for our young people who are going out and doing the right thing, and going out and doing things like enlisting in the Marine Corps and serving our country. Please join me in congratulating Tyler on his accomplishments and to give him good speed and good wishes on his future endeavors. And I'd like to also acknowledge that he's a member of our family because his dad is one of our employees in the state Senate.
Senator Libous.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Kachik, thank you for bringing Tyler to the chamber today and certainly recognizing him. And Tyler, I just want to join my colleague in saying thank you to you, certainly for not only your service, but for what you've contributed and for the great things that you do. And I did want to add this, that certainly your dad has been a good and trusted and loyal employee for the New York State Senate, and certainly I could see that the acorn did not fall too far from the tree, and that you're following in his footsteps and certainly making him proud of the accomplishments that you will not only have done today, but will continue to do. So, Tyler, it's exciting for us to have you in the chamber, and again, I thank Senator Kachik for doing it. And certainly, Brian, you should be very proud of your son. He is an outstanding young man, and it's just an honor to have you in our family here in the Senate and to be able to share his great qualities with all the members of this House. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Saunders.
Mr. President, first I'd like to draw attention and thank my colleague for having this, and to say that as the father of a Marine, you really have done something extraordinary, sir. And then a Eagle Scout on top of that, you've been busy, and it shows. To my now colleague from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, folk have done it. They've gone before you. They've upheld a very proud legacy. I'm sure that you will not let us down. And this is what your Army, your armed forces looks like. So I want to congratulate you and wish you Godspeed. I look forward to when you come back safe and sound, and we can have some stories that perhaps cannot be told in public. Semper Fi.
Tyler, you have the best wishes of the Senate. We offer you the courtesy of the House, and thank you, and God bless you. Senator Libous.
Thank you, Mr. President. I believe we have a resolution by Senator Rivera. Read it in its entirety, and the number 5760, please, and call on the good senator.
Senator, I'm sorry, the clerk will read.
Legislative Resolution number 5760 by Senator Rivera, memorializing Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim June 2014 as Immigrant Heritage Month in the state of New York. Whereas generations of immigrants from every corner of the globe have built our country's economy and create the unique character of our nation and state. And whereas immigrants continue to grow businesses, innovate, strengthen our economy, and create jobs in New York State. And whereas immigrants have provided the United States of America and New York State with unique social and cultural influence, fundamentally enriching the extraordinary character of each. And whereas immigrants constitute a vital segment not only in our state's community and economic affairs, but also our state's democracy. And whereas immigrants comprise more than a quarter of our state's workforce, and for that reason, the care and well-being of these individuals is not only a priority for this body, but a necessity for the economic health of this state. And whereas immigrants account for nearly a third of New York's economic output in metropolitan areas and produce more than a fifth of New York's gross domestic product. And whereas foreign-born students seeking educational opportunities in New York contribute billions of dollars to the state in their journey to success. And whereas immigrants have been tireless leaders not only in securing their own rights and access to equal opportunity, but have also campaigned to create a fair and more just society for all Americans. And whereas despite these countless contributions, the role of immigrants in building and enriching our nation has frequently been overlooked and undervalued throughout our history and continued to the present day. And whereas it is imperative that these be greater public awareness and increased recognition of their contributions of immigrant communities at a local, state, and national levels. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this legislative body pauses deliberations to memorialize Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim June 2014 as Immigrant Heritage Month in the state of New York, and be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution suitably engrossed be transmitted to the Honorable Andrew M. Cuomo, Governor of the state of New York, and to the events commemorating Immigrant Heritage Month throughout New York State.
Senator Rivera.
Thank you, Mr. President. My colleagues, I rise today to pause for a second so that we can think about all of the people across the state of New York, which add to the character of the state of New York and add value to the state of New York. And in particular, I'm talking about all the immigrant communities that make up our districts, our state, from all the way from the Bronx to Western New York to the northern part of the state and all across. Just in my district, I represent about 318,000 folks, and just in that small district in the Bronx, whether you have a Puerto Rican community that has been vibrant and growing there and been there for a long time, a Dominican community that is actually in the Bronx, the largest Dominican community outside of Santo Domingo, whether you have African communities, whether it's from Ghana or the Ivory Coast, Albanians, Hondurans, like the Garifuna community that we've honored on this floor before, the Vietnamese, the Mexican community, the Italian community that made up so much of the one part of my district for a long time, and some of them moved away but are still there. All of these communities make up the greatness that is the state of New York, and certainly the Bronx. And just some of the numbers mentioned in the resolution, whether we're talking about the fact that immigrant population comprise for more than a quarter of our state's workforce, the fact that they account for nearly a third of the economic output of the entire state, or that they produce more than a fifth of New York's gross domestic product. So whether it's the cultural heritage, whether it's the economic benefits, these are millions of New Yorkers that are immigrants that make New York their home. And these New Yorkers we need to stop for a second and recognize them and know that without them, New York wouldn't be the state that it is. So I, Mr. President, take a second to thank all of these immigrant communities for making New York their home, because of their presence here, we are a better state, whether it's in the Bronx, in Brooklyn, all the way up in Buffalo, in the northern parts of the states, everywhere. These communities make our state better, more vibrant, and I'm glad that we are taking a second to recognize that on this floor. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator. Questions on the resolution? All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Resolution is adopted. Senator Libous.
Mr. President, I believe Senator Kennedy has a previously adopted resolution 5615. He would like the title read only, and then he would like to be called on to speak on the resolution.
Clerk will read the title only.
Legislative Resolution number 5615 by Senator Kennedy, mourning the death of Richard L. Berger, distinguished citizen and devoted member of his community.
On the resolution, Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise today to remember Richard L. Rick Berger and honor his many accomplishments as a devoted husband and father, a decorated serviceman, and a businessman who was very successful as a leader in our community. Mr. Berger passed away earlier this year on February 25th, 2014, at the age of 67. We send our thoughts and prayers to his family and friends as they mourn this tremendous loss to our community. Rick was born on January 19th, 1947. In Erie, Pennsylvania, he attended Bowling Green University in Ohio and proudly served this nation as a member of the United States Air Force, where he climbed the ranks to become an Air Force captain. We thank Mr. Berger and his family for his sacrifice and valiant service to our country. After leaving the Air Force, Rick began a career in business and quickly demonstrated the talent and skills necessary to succeed and help companies grow. A hard-working man full of grit and determination, Rick proved himself and worked steadily through all sorts of business work in our community and throughout the United States. He served as a vice president, president, and CEO of several companies and helped drive them to success. Mr. Berger's long career took him all over the country, and fortunately for those of us in Western New York, it led him to Buffalo. Rick's most indelible impression in business came when he co-founded the business consulting firm Inventures Group in Buffalo. Mr. Berger distinguished himself in his profession, and he demonstrated sincere dedication to our community. He supported and served on the boards of several key community groups, such as the Buffalo and Erie County Public Library, the Library Foundation, the Riverkeeper, and he worked on the Westminster Economic Development Initiative. He was also an elder at the Westminster Presbyterian Church. It's folks like Rick Berger that have made Buffalo a great place to start a business and an even better place to raise a family. Rick is survived by his wife, Nancy, their son, Troy, and sister, Lynn Blakely. A compassionate man who worked hard to support his family and help his community thrive, Rick Berger leaves behind a legacy that will remain as a comforting memory to all who knew him. I know members of Rick's family are watching with us today, along with his friends and colleagues at Inventures Group. We send our thoughts and prayers to his friends and family as they mourn his loss with us. May he rest in peace. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Kennedy. The resolution was previously adopted. Senator Libous.
Thank you, Mr. President. I believe Senator Kachik has a resolution number 5358. Read its title and please call on the senator.
Secretary will read the title.
Legislative Resolution number 5358 by Senator Kachik, honoring student athlete Nick Gwiazdowski upon the occasion of becoming the first Capital Region wrestler to win the NCAA Division I wrestling title.
Senator Kachik.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have another very special young man in the chambers today, and I'd like to introduce him and talk to him, and also recognize that his parents, Suzanne and John Gwiazdowski, are also here in the chamber with us. And Nick is from Duanesburg. We don't all have difficult-to-say names in Duanesburg, but this is an incredible young man that needs to be recognized. While he was in high school at Duanesburg, Nick was a two-time New York State champion. He posted a 50-0 record in his senior season. None of his opponents that year finished their match. He had 43 pins and 7 forfeits. That year, he won the Junior Wade Shales Award, which is given to the high school wrestler with the most pins in the country. He was a two-time team captain of Duanesburg and finished high school with 199 victories. This is really special because Duanesburg is such a small school. His graduating class is probably less than 70 kids. And we recognized a couple weeks ago some outstanding coaches, one of them being Joe Benna, who was Nick's coach at Duanesburg. In his first year in college, Nick compiled a 30-9 record at Binghamton. He won the 2012 Colonial Athletic Association Conference Tournament and was named the 2012 Conference's Rookie of the Year. When his coach there, Pat Popolizio, left Binghamton for North Carolina State, Nick followed him there, and this year really shined. He was the Atlantic Coast Conference champion and then beat the two-time defending champion to become the NCAA champion in his weight class. Just as impressive, while he was compiling these amazing accomplishments, Nick was also an outstanding student. He was on the honor roll while wrestling for Duanesburg in high school and was named to the All-American team by the National Wrestling Coaches Association at both Binghamton and North Carolina State. These are tremendous achievements by a great student athlete and role model, and I can't imagine the hard work that Nick did to get to this level, but it's really incredible. We are really incredibly proud of his accomplishments. I know his parents are incredibly proud. The entire town of Duanesburg is incredibly proud to know him. I even have kids who've wrestled him in the past come up to me and say, I wrestled Nick. I wrestled an NCAA champion and lost. But they're incredibly proud that they got to know Nick. I can't wait to see what he does in his next 2 years at NC State, but I would like to welcome my colleagues in recognizing Nick to our chamber and congratulating him on his tremendous success so far.
Nick, congratulations for your achievements. We wish you well in the future, and when you win the next Olympics, come back and see us. Senator Libous.
Mr. President, I want to stand up and congratulate Nick also. Nick, I know this would surprise you, but this body wrestled at one time many, many years ago. What are you laughing for?
He's waiting for you to stand up, sir.
You might look like you might look like this one day. But I wanted to say, as the senator in Binghamton, I'm not sure you're aware of this, but Binghamton lost its wrestling program for a number of years, and I would like to take some credit for getting it back for them because I did work with, I believe, one of the Baldwin brothers. I can't remember. I want to say Billy Baldwin. Thank you, Eric. It was Billy Baldwin, and I know it was killing him to work with a Republican, but he told me that that I was one of the nicer ones that he had ever met. But we did reinstate the wrestling program in Binghamton. I'm glad that you at least spent a bit of your time there, and I want to say congratulations to you, and certainly as Senator Kachik and Marcelino has said that we hope to have you back here one day with bigger and greater accomplishments. But congratulations for what you've done so far, and Binghamton is a great place, and I'm glad to see that the wrestling team is certainly paying off and producing champions like yourself. Congratulations.
Senator Libous, the resolution was previously adopted.
It just got me working today.
That's it.
Can we return to motions?
We will return to motions.
On behalf of Senator Felder, on page 36, I offer the following amendments, calendar number 671, Senate Print 7062, and ask that said bill retain its place on the third reading calendar.
So ordered.
Rules. Mr. Mr. President, at this time I would call an immediate meeting of the Rules Committee in room 332. There will be an immediate meeting of the Rules Committee in room 332.
There will be an immediate meeting of the Rules Committee in room 332. The Senate will stand at ease until the Rules Committee returns.
Report read at this time.
The Senate will come to order. There is a report of the Rules Committee at the desk, and the Secretary will read.
Senator Skelos from the Committee on Rules reports the following bills. Senate Print 698 by Senator Grisanti, enact amend the labor law. Senate 902 by Senator Martins, enact amend the labor law. Senate 1187A by Senator Maziarz, enact amend the public authorities law. Senate 1205 by Senator Carlucci, enact amend the real property tax law. Senate 1593B by Senator Grisanti, enact amend the executive law. Senate 1876A by Senator Bonasek, enact amend the county law. Senate 2838B by Senator Parker, enact in relation to requiring. Senate 3054 by Senator Han, enact authorize. Senate 3246 by Senator Carlucci, enact amend the State Administrative Procedure Act. Senate 3361 by Senator DeFrancisco, enact amend the labor law. Senate 3476A by Senator Hannan, enact authorize. Senate 3563 by Senator Seward, enact amend the environmental conservation law. Senate 3592 by Senator O'Mara, enact amend the general municipal law. Senate 3981B by Senator Lanza, enact amend the not-for-profit corporation law. Senate 3983 by Senator Lanza, enact amend the public health law. Senate 4067 by Senator DeFrancisco, enact amend the social services law. Senate 4095 by Senator Robach, enact to amend the state finance law. Senate 4337B by Senator Young, enact to amend the public health law. Senate 4461B by Senator Klein, enact to amend the general municipal law. Senate 4714A by Senator Larkin, enact to amend the retirement and social security law. Senate 4848 by Senator Latimer, enact to amend the education law. Senate 4998 by Senator Lanza, enact to amend the environmental conservation law. Senate 5133 by Senator Zeldin, enact amend the environmental conservation law. Senate 5317 by Senator Marcelino, enact amend the general municipal law. Senate 5786 by Senator DeFrancisco, enact amend the insurance law. Senate 5857 by Senator Boyle, enact to authorize. Senate 6142A by Senator Golan, enact amend the social services law. Senate 6164 by Senator Grisanti, enact amend the labor law. Senate 6368 by Senator Valesky, enact amend the agricultural markets law. Senate 6467A by Senator Golan, enact amend the general municipal law. Senate 6478A by Senator Ranzenhofer, enact to repeal Chapter 154 of the laws of 1921. Senate 6574 by Senator Ritchie, enact amend the environmental conservation law. Senate 6629 by Senator Ball, enact amend the labor law. Senate 6672A by Senator Klein, enact amend the insurance law. Senate 6726 by Senator Golden, enact amend the general municipal law. Senate 6848 by Senator Marcelino, enact amend the public health law. Senate 6959A by Senator Flanagan, enact in relation to extending. Senate 7047 by Senator O'Mara, enact to amend the agricultural markets law. Senate 7050A by Senator Gallivan, enact in relation to the town of Eagle. Senate 7093 by Senator Hoylman, enact amend the penal law. Senate 7109 by Senator Gallivan, enact providing. Senate 7111B by Senator Grisanti, enact amend the labor law. Senate 7191 by Senator Nozzolio, enact amend Chapter 159 of the laws of 1929. Senate 7229B by Senator Laval, enact in relation to authorizing. Senate 7325A by Senator Martins, enact to incorporate. Senate 7352 by Senator Martins, enact to amend the local finance law. Senate 7480 by Senator Hannan, enact to amend the public health law. Senate 7485 by Senator Laval, enact to amend the real property tax law. Senate 7592 by Senator Hannan, enact to amend the public health law. Senate 7601B by Senator Hannan, an act to amend the public health law. Senate 7687 by Senator Marchone, an act to authorize the assessor. Senate 7688 by Senator Marchone, an act to authorize the assessor. Senate 7689 by Senator Marchone, an act to authorize the assessor. And Senate 7711 by Senator Farley, an act relating to certain agreement. All bills reported direct to third reading.
Senator Libous.
Thank you, Mr. President. Can we move to accept the report of the Rules Committee?
All in favor of accepting the Committee on Rules report signify by saying aye. Opposed? The committee report is accepted.
Mr. President, at this time, could we have the reading of the non-controversial calendar?
Secretary will read.
Calendar number 177 by Senator Lanza, Senate Print 3598, an act to amend the Public Authorities Law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, the statute take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 56, nays 1. Senator Rivera recorded in the negative.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 246 by Senator Ranzenhofer, Senate Print 4324A, an act to amend the Not-for-Profit Corporation Law.
Read the last section.
Section 4, the statute take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 300 by Member of the Assembly McGee, Assembly Print 8679, an act to amend the Alcoholic Beverage Control Law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act to take effect on the 180th day.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin.
Senator Kruger to explain her vote.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I rise to explain my vote no on this bill. While, of course, an obvious role for the Alcohol Beverage Control Board to play is to ensure that alcohol, beer, and wine and other liquor industry activities are related to economic development in the state, it is also crucial that we not forget a community's right to have a say in whether there is overutilization of licenses, too much going on in their specific community, too many licenses, too many retail activities. And I'm very concerned that with this change in law, we would find that communities had much less say over their own destinies when it comes to alcohol, beer, and wine. And I'm voting no. Thank you.
Senator Kruger to be recorded in the negative. Announce the results.
In relation to calendar 300, those recorded in the negative are Senators Diaz, Gianaris, Kruger, Montgomery, Rivera, Sanders, and Squadron. Ayes 50, nays 7.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 315 by Senator Lanza, Senate Print 6624, an act to amend Chapter 130 of the laws of 1998.
There's a home rule message at the desk, and the Secretary will read the substitution.
On page 18, Senator Lanza moved to discharge from the Committee on Local Government Assembly Bill number 8853 and substitute the identical Senate Bill number 6624, third reading calendar 315.
Last section.
Calendar number 315 by Member of the Assembly Farrell, Assembly Print 8853, an act to amend Chapter 130 of the laws of 1998.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 333 by Senator Ranzenhofer, Senate Print 6718B, an act to amend Chapter 154 of the laws of 1921.
Read the last section.
Section 3, this act should take effect upon the enactment into law by the State of New Jersey.
Call a roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 366 by Member of the Assembly Robinson, Assembly Print 9057, act to amend Chapter 322 of the laws of 2007.
Last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 445 by Senator Klein, Senate Print 6579, act to amend the local finance law.
Last section. Laid aside.
Calendar number 489 by Senator Klein, Senate Print 2331B, an act to amend the insurance law.
Read the last section.
Section 7, this act shall take effect on the 180th day.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bills passed.
Calendar number 521 by Senator Bonasic, Senate Print 5372A, enact amend the civil practice law and rules.
Last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect on the 1st of January.
Call roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bills passed.
Calendar number 524 by Senator Bonasic, Senate Print 7142, enact amend the domestic relations law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bills passed.
Calendar number 530 by Senator Bonasic, Senate Print 2016, enact amend the social services law.
Read the last section.
Section 3, this act shall take effect on the 120th day.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bills passed.
Calendar number 566 by Senator Hannan, Senate Print 7140, enact amend the public health law.
Last section.
Section 4, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bills passed.
Calendar number 593 by Senator Ball, Senate Print 6563A, enact amend the real property tax law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect on the 1st of January.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 595 by Senator Farley, Senate Print 2932A, enact amend the banking law.
Last section.
Section 3, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 608 by a member of the Assembly, Magnarelli, Assembly Print 8819, enact amend the not-for-profit corporation law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 625 by Senator Ravello, Senate Print 6903B, enact amend the environmental conservation law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act to take effect on the 180th day.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 54, nays 3. Senators Bonasic, Marchone, and Zeldin recorded in the negative.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 643 by Senator Laval, Senate Print 1032, enact amend the vehicle and traffic law.
Last section.
Section 3, this act shall take effect on the 180th day.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 644 by Senator Flanagan, Senate Print 1448, enact amend the vehicle and traffic law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect on the 180th day.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 647 by Senator Lavelle, Senate Print 2036, enact amend the vehicle and traffic law.
Read the last section.
Section 3, this act shall take effect on the 180th day.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 650 by Senator Golden, Senate Print 2749A, enact amend the vehicle and traffic law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect on the 180th day.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 651 by Senator Nozzolio, Senate Print 2918, enact amend the vehicle and traffic law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act to take effect on the 1st of April.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 56, nays 1. Senator Bonasic recorded in the negative.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 654 by Senator Lavelle, Senate Print 3521A, enact amend the vehicle and traffic law.
Read the last section.
Section 4, this act to take effect on the 180th day.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 657 by Senator Ritchie, Senate Print 4062, enact amend the vehicle and traffic law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 660 by Senator Latimer, Senate Print 6861A, enact amend the vehicle and traffic law.
There's a home rule message at the desk. Secretary will read.
Section 3, this act should take effect on the 60th day.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 661 by Senator Nozzolio, Senate Print 6873, enact amend the vehicle and traffic law.
Last section.
Section 3, this act should take effect on the 180th day.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 664 by Senator Martin, Senate Print 985A, enact amend the civil practice law and rules.
Last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 666 by Senator Flanagan, Senate Print 5212A, enact amend the real property tax law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect on the 120th day.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. In relation to calendar 666, those recorded in the negative are Senators Ball, DeFrancisco, Griffo, Ranzenhofer, and Seward. Ayes 52, nays 5.
Bill is passed.
What? Oh, Farley, too. In relation to calendar 666, those recorded in the negative are Senators Ball, DeFrancisco, Farley, Griffo, Nozzolio, Ranzenhofer, and Seward. Ayes 50, nays 7.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 668 by Member of the Assembly Braunstein, Assembly Print 9757, act amend the Estates, Powers, and Trust Law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 679 by Senator DeFrancisco, Senate Print 6206, enact amend the state law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin.
Senator DeFrancisco to explain his vote.
Yes, I know we had a spirited debate on a similar bill dealing with yogurt. And at that time, I think I mentioned that it's important, these types of bills designating different state symbols for education purposes with our young people. And in this case, this was an idea brought to us by Irene Manna's fourth grade class in Skaneateles. You probably don't know this, but the wood frog is already the unofficial amphibian of the state. And a young woman, a young girl in that class, Lily Winkleman, thought, why is that? She loves frogs. Why should it be unofficial? And she said, what do we have to do to her teacher to make it happen? So she contacted our office, and we put in a bill, and it's also supported in the Assembly by an Assembly member. And each of the class members wrote these reasons why, wrote letters to me, the reasons why, and arguing why this should happen. And they're outstanding letters and making more cogent arguments than many of us do here on a regular basis. And the arguments given for this particular bill was, did you know that wood frogs actually recognize their brothers and sisters? If there was a study done, and there was a little paint put on them, and they were sent back into some area, and they all gathered together by family. Wood frogs actually are able to freeze their organs freeze in the middle of winter, and that's important in Syracuse, the middle of winter, and they revitalize in the spring. Wood frogs are also being used for research in diabetes, and that's done because they can accept much more sugar in their system than we can. So there's many, many reasons and good reasons why this designation of unofficial should be taken away from the wood frog and the official amphibian of the state should be the wood frog. Last point, we talk about all the time how voting is down in our communities, how people are not interested in government, how people just should be civically responsible and involved. Well, here's a 4th grade class on their own initiative that's suggesting legislation, lobbying for legislation, and gaining a stake in our system. So I congratulate Lily Winkleman and the 4th grade class, and I'm happy to see that this is going to pass unanimously today in this session. Thank you.
Senator DeFrancisco to be recorded in the affirmative. Senator Squadron to explain his vote.
Senator DeFrancisco on this occasion. I'll vote aye, Mr. President.
Senator Squadron to be recorded in the affirmative. Senator Bonasek to explain his vote.
You know, I don't know too much about frogs, but when I was young, Kermit the Frog was the one that I kind of liked because he was always portrayed in a positive way. I want to tell you a little story about a frog that I've come to know better in the last 6 months, and that is the cricket frog. And what I have seen happen over the last decade is the empowerment of the DEC to wrap themselves around the protection of some kind of species, in this case, the cricket frog. And in my district in Florida, in Glenmere Lake, in a draft report, they said for 3 miles around this lake, a draft report now, it's not official regulation, no construction could take place for the protection of the cricket frog. That means if you owned a house and wanted to put a porch on, you had to go through DEC, you had to have it surveyed out, you had to hire people to make sure you didn't interfere with that cricket frog. So when we start empowering a particular species, what happens is the DEC gets more empowered and dilutes property rights in the name of overregulation. And for that reason, I'm voting no on this particular bill. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Bonasek to be recorded in the negative. Senator DeFrancisco, you've already explained your vote. We're on explanation of votes. What's your point of order, Senator DeFrancisco?
My point of order is, in view of the fact that the argument is not germane to this bill, that I'm asking that it be stricken from the record.
Absent a frog in his throat, the record will stay as is. Announce the results.
Relation to calendar 679, those recorded in the negative are Senators Ball, Bonasek, Libous, and Zeldin. Ayes 53, nays 4.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 694 by Senator Griffo, Senate Print 3907, an act to amend the education law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin.
Announce the results.
In relation to calendar 694, those recorded in the negative are Senators Addabbo, Avella, Breslin, DeLon, Gibson, Kennedy, Montgomery, Parker, Peralta, Perkins, Rivera, Sanders, Serrano, Squadron, Stavisky, and Stewart Cousins. Also, Senator Little. Ayes 40, nays 17.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 697 by Senator Flanagan, Senate Print 5360, Enact amend the education law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin.
Parker and Perkins.
Relation to calendar 697, those recorded in the negative are Senators Avella, Carlucci, Parker, Perkins, and Sanders. Ayes 52, nays 5.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 703 by Member of the Assembly Zembrowski, Assembly Print 9124A, enact amend the education law.
Last section.
Section 3, this act should take effect on the 90th day.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 704 by Senator Lanza, Senate Print 5525, enact to repeal sections 281046 and 28211-1.
Last section.
Section 5, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Relation to calendar 704, those recorded in the negative are Senators Avella, Montgomery, Perkins, Rivera, Sanders, and Squadron. Ayes 51, nays 6.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 709 by Senator Libous, Senate Print 978, enact amend the state finance law.
Last section.
Section 4, this act should take effect on the 1st of April.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 715 by Senator DeFrancisco, Senate Print 1974, enact amend the state finance law.
Last section.
Section 3, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 721 by Senator O'Mara, Senate Print 3471, enact amend the tax law.
Read the last section.
Section 3, this act should take effect on the 180th day.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Relation to calendar 721, those recorded in the negative are Senators Avella, Dilan, Kennedy, Montgomery, Perkins, Rivera, Sanders, Serrano, Squadron, and Kachik. Ayes 47, nays 10.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 731 by Member of the Assembly Farrell, Assembly Print 9344, enacted in relation to establishing.
Last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin.
Senator DeFrancisco to explain his vote.
Yes, this bill was passed by both houses last year and vetoed by the governor. It basically sets up a commission to review management confidential employees' salaries that haven't been raised in a substantial period of time. The governor vetoed the bill on the grounds it should be part of the budget. We put it in our one-house budget this year and tried to engage on this topic because it was budget time. We couldn't get engagement. We couldn't get this to be part of the budget. So we are passing it again, I believe, as is the Assembly. Hopefully, the argument that it should be part of the budget will not be considered by the governor if he's considering a veto in view of the fact that we attempted to do just what he requested. This is an important bill that we should do. I vote aye.
Senator DeFrancisco Senator DeFrancisco to be recorded in the affirmative. Announce the results.
Ayes 57.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 733 by Senator Libous, Senate Print 982, enacted on the real property tax law. Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 738 by Senator Young, Senate Print 5318A, enacted amending the real property tax law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 741 by Senator Hannan, Senate Print 6481, an act to authorize.
Last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 54, nays 3. Senators Bonasek, Larkin, and O'Mara recorded in the negative.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 742 by Member of the Assembly Lentil, Assembly Print 9241A, enactment Chapter 672 of the laws of 1993.
Last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 56, nays 1. Senator Ball recorded in the negative.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 775 by Senator Ball, Senate Print 6778A, enact amend the corrections law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect on the 180th day.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill's passed.
Excuse me, wait.
Perkins and Montgomery.
Relation to calendar 775. Ayes 55, nays 2. Senators Montgomery and Perkins recorded in the negative.
The bill continues to be passed.
Calendar number 786 by Senator Golden, Senate Print 4979B, enacted under the Retirement Social Security Law.
Last section.
Section 4, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 790 by Senator Golden, Senate Print 5720A, enact amend the Civil Service Law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 828 by Member of the Assembly Schimminger, Assembly Print 9518, enact amend the Highway Law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 836 by Senator Flanagan, Senate Print 2450A, enact to amend the Education Law.
Last section.
Section 5, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Relation to calendar 836, those recorded in the negative are Senators Addabbo, Avella, Gibson, Kennedy, Latimer, Montgomery, Peralta, Perkins, Rivera, Sanders, Serrano, and Katchik. Ayes 45, nays 12.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 851 by Senator Nozzolio, Senate Print 5864, enactment of the State Finance Law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Relation to calendar 851, those recorded in the negative are Senators Kennedy, Perkins, Rivera, and Sanders. Ayes 53, nays 4.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 855 by Senator Little, Senate Print 6322, enact amend the Executive Law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 859 by Senator Flanagan, Senate Print 6762A, enact amend the Military Law.
Last section.
Section 4, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 865 by Senator Marcelino, Senate Print 7324, enact amend the state finance law.
Last section.
Section 4 of this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 867 by Senator Hannan, Senate Print 4414, enact amend the public health law.
Last section.
Section 3 of this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 868 by Senator Hannan, Senate Print 5333, enact amend the public health law.
Read the last section.
Section 2 of this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 876 by Senator Valesky, Senate Print 7305, enact amend the public health law.
Read the last section.
Section 2 of this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 55, nays 2. Senators Montgomery and Perkins recorded in the negative.
The bill is passed. Can I see the negatives again by show of hands, please? Announce results.
Relation to calendar 876. Ayes 56, nays 1. Senator Perkins recorded in the negative.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 879 by Senator Carlucci, Senate Print 2003, enact amend the real property tax law.
Last section.
Section 2 of this act shall take effect on the 1st of January.
Call the roll.
Adabo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 887 by Senator Hannan, Senate Print 6480A, enact authorize.
Last section.
Section 2 of this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin.
Get some order in the House, please. Announce the results.
Ayes 54, nays 3. Senators Bonasek, Larkin, and O'Mara recorded in the negative.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 888 by Member Assembly Kuzik, Assembly Print 8862, enact amend Chapter 306 of the laws of 2011.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 894 by Senator Diaz, Senate Print 259, enact amend the banking law.
Last section.
Section 5, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 917 by Senator Espaillat, Senate Print 7359, enact amend the mental hygiene law.
Read the last section.
Section 3, this act shall take effect on the 1st of July.
Call the roll.
Adabo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 918 by Member of the Assembly Paulin, Assembly Print 6367, enact amend the public service law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect on the 120th day.
Call the roll.
Adabo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 924 by Senator Flanagan, Senate Print 7293A, enact amend the public authorities law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 978 by Senator Lanza, Senate Print 2472, enact amend Chapter 47 of the laws of 1931.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect upon enactment into law.
Call the roll.
Adabo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 1004 by Member of Assembly Zimbrowski, Assembly Print 9225B, enact amend Chapter 329 of the laws of 2009.
Last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 1011 by Senator Lanza, Senate Print 6523, enact amend the executive law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, De Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 53, nays 4. Senators DeFrancisco, Gibson, Kruger, and Montgomery recorded in the negative. Also, Senator Perkins.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 1017 by Senator Serrano, Senate Print 5600, enactment of the Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation Law.
Last section.
Section 3, the statute take effect January 1, 2015.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 54, nays 3. Senators DeFrancisco, Marchone, and Zeldin recorded in the negative.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 1019 by member Assembly Jonai, Assembly Print 9387B, enactment Chapter 465 of the laws of 1994.
Last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 1023 by Senator Sanders, Senate Print 5428A, enactment of the Social Services Law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect on the 90th day.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 56, nays 1. Senator Ball recorded in the negative.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 1031 by Senator Felder, Senate Print 5369B, enacted direct.
Last section.
Section 3, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
The bill is passed. Secretary will continue.
Calendar number 1032 by Senator Martin, Senate Print 6404, enactment in the Education Law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect on the 1st of July.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 56, nays 1. Senator Kruger recorded in the negative.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 1040 by Senator Lanza, Senate Print 7464A, enactment of the real property tax law.
Last section.
Section 3, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 1074 by Senator Carlucci, Senate Print 5249A, enactment of the social services law.
Last section.
Section 3, this act should take effect on the 180th day.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 55, nays 2. Senators DeFrancisco and Libous recorded in the negative.
The bill is passed.
Also, Senator Hannan. Ayes 54, nays 3.
Senator DeFrancisco to explain his vote.
I just wanted to explain my vote. I think it's a wonderful idea for individuals who are receiving public assistance to complete a course of instruction in financial literacy. The reason I voted no is I don't think those times in that course should count towards the employment time requirement. If it was an additional requirement, fine, but to count towards when you're supposed to be working, I think is not appropriate. That's why I voted no.
Senator DeFrancisco to be recorded in a negative. Announce the results.
In relation to calendar 1074, those recorded in the negative are Senators Ball, Bonasek, DeFrancisco, Griffo, Hannan, Libous, and Seward. Also Senator Ranzenhofer. Also Senator Larkin. Also Senator Nozzolio. Also Senator Marchone.
Results?
Ayes 46, nays 11.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 1076 by Member Assembly McGee, Assembly Print 7706, enact amend the Soil and Water Conservation Districts Law.
Last section.
Section 2 of the statute take effect on the 180th day.
Call roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libiskello, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 1125 by Member Assembly Weinstein, Assembly Print 9354.
Excuse me, Secretary. First, I want to note that on calendar number 1090, during motions, it was starred at the sponsor's request. So now we'll proceed to calendar 1125, and the Secretary will read.
Calendar number 1125 by Member Assembly Weinstein, Assembly Print 9354, enactment Chapter 507 of Laws of 2009.
Last section.
Section 2 of the statute take effect immediately.
Call roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libiskello, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin.
Senator Klein to explain his vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is an extremely important piece of legislation which started back in 2009 during the subprime mortgage crisis. I think everyone knows by now, not only did the subprime mortgage crisis disrupt and destroy our financial markets, it also caused many hardworking homeowners throughout the country, and especially here in New York State, to lose their homes. One of the things we did back then was legislation that I sponsored back in 2009, which took important steps in protecting homeowners from further deception and intimidation by the banks when we passed historic landmark legislation. The legislation is very simple, but I think goes a long way towards helping distressed homeowners. First and foremost, the legislation requires a 90-day notification before someone is served with foreclosure. Next, and probably the most important part of the legislation, is a settlement conference. The settlement conference is mandatory during that 90-day period, and it requires that the bank and the distressed homeowner work out some type of modification to keep the homeowner in their home. I think everyone knows what happened previously is a lot of people were duped into purchasing mortgages, which sounded good in the beginning because they had very, very low interest rates, but then rose to very high interest rates. When homeowners noticed or saw that that was happening, they contacted their banks in many cases, and in most cases were told, call us when you're in foreclosure. I think everyone knows that's too late because that's when you lose your home, that's when your credit rating is destroyed, that's when you lose the American dream of home ownership, which I think is everyone's intent to keep alive for many years to come. So this legislation made an awful lot of sense, and it saved thousands and thousands of homeowners throughout the state of New York their homes because they were able to get help. They were able to work out some type of an agreement to modify their mortgage and keep them in their homes. Well, unfortunately, we're not out of the woods yet. I put forth a report last Friday which showed that just in New York City alone, there's presently 30,000 homeowners potentially facing foreclosure. 80% of those individuals are in predominantly minority neighborhoods. And I also think we have to ask ourselves the question, why are African American and Latino homeowners 4 times more likely to be facing foreclosure? So I think the continuation of this program will continue to help thousands of homeowners throughout the state of New York be able to make sure that we can keep the American dream of home ownership alive, not only for this generation, but for future generations. I vote yes, Mr. President.
Senator Klein to be recorded in the affirmative. Announce the results.
Ayes 56, nays 1. Senator DeFrancisco recorded in the negative.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 1194 by Senator Gallivan, Senate Print 89A, enact amend the executive law.
Last section.
Section 2 of the statute take effect on the 60th day.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libiskello, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 56, nays 1. Senator Kruger recorded in the negative.
The bill is passed. Calendar number 1196 has also been starred at the sponsor's request during motions. So we will now go on to calendar number 1197.
Calendar number 1197 by Senator Avello, Senate Print 680, enact amend the Administrative Code of the City of New York.
Last section.
Section 2 of the statute take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 56, nays 1. Senator D. Francisco recorded the negative.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 1198 by Senator Little, Senate Print 1005A, enact amend the tax law.
Last section.
Section 6, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 1199 by Senator Montgomery, Senate Print 1413, enact amend the corrections law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act to take effect on the 90th day.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 55, nays 2. Senators Ball and Zeldin recorded the negative. Also, Senator Griffo. Ayes 54, nays 3.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 1200 by Senator Golden, Senate Print 2108, enact amend the executive law.
Last section.
Section 3, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 55, nays 2. Senators Montgomery and Perkins recorded the negative.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 1202 by Senator Klein, Senate Print 2366, enact amend the penal law.
Last section.
Section 7, this act should take effect on the 1st of November.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 1203 by Senator Lanza, Senate Print 2467, enact amend the tax law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect on the 1st of April.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 56, nays 1. Senator Perkins recorded in the negative.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 1204 by Senator Marcelino, Senate Print 2526A, enact amend the executive law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect April 1, 2015.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 1205 by Senator Ball, Senate Print 2648, enact amend the tax law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect on the 1st of July.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. In relation to calendar 1205, those recorded in the negative are Senators Avella, DeLon, Gianaris, Montgomery, Perkins, Rivera, Sanders, and Stavisky. Ayes 49, nays 8.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 1206 by Senator Lanza, Senate Print 3626D, enact amend the tax law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 1208 by Senator Lavelle, Senate Print 4596B, enact amend the education law.
Last section.
Section 16, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 1209 by Senator Grisanti, Senate Print 4642A, enact amend the tax law.
Read the last section.
Section 5, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin.
Senator Grisanti to explain his vote.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. My fellow colleagues, a couple years ago, we tried to increase the historic tax credits from $5 million to $12 million. All across this state, there are buildings that need refurbishing, they need help, they need these historic tax credits. The $5 million does a great job for some of the lower-end construction projects. But you see the blight in your communities. You see no economic development in the areas around that blight. We need to increase the historic tax credit. This particular piece of legislation raises the cap to $7 million in years 16 and 17, to $9 million in years 17 and 18, and up to $12 million in years 18 and 19. Every single one of us has in our district properties that are full of blight. And for those that have had the $5 million used in the historic tax credits, you see that you have construction jobs right off the bat. Perfect example, the Lafayette Hotel laid dormant, 300 construction jobs. Now that it's completed using the $5 million tax credit, there are over 270 jobs at the end. The property's back on the tax rolls, and it created economic viability within that region. This needs to be increased. We need to do this immediately. It's just as important as brownfields, which we need to get that done this year. But the historic tax credits, we cannot wait any longer. I asked the Assembly to get it passed. I asked all my colleagues to support this because you will have construction jobs, you will have permanent jobs at the end with properties out of blight and back on the tax rolls. I vote aye, Mr. President.
Senator Grisanti to be recorded in the affirmative. Announce the results.
Ayes 56, nays 1. Senator Kruger recorded in the negative.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 1210 by Senator Golden, Senate Print 4666. Enact amend the executive law.
Last section.
Section 2 of this act shall take effect immediately.
Call roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libiskello, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 1211 by Senator Nozzolio, Senate Print 4679A. Enact amend the tax law.
Last section.
Section 4 of this act shall take effect immediately.
Call roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libiskello, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 55, nays 2. Senators Gibson and Rivera recorded in the negative.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 1212 by Senator Golden, Senate Print 6146. Enact amend the executive law.
Last section.
Section 4 of this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libiskello, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 1213 by Senator Bonasek, Senate Print 6202. Enact amend the corrections law.
Read the last section.
Section 3, this act to take effect on the 90th day.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libiskello, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 1214 by Senator Lavelle, Senate Print 6303. Enact amend the state finance law.
Read the last section.
Section 4 of this act to take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libiskello, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
The bill's passed.
Calendar number 1215 by Senator Griffo, Senate Print 6655. Enact amend the state finance law.
Last section.
Section 4 of this act should take effect immediately.
Call roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libiskello, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 55.
Bill's passed.
57, excuse me. Calendar number 1218 by Senator Sanders, Senate Print 6852. Enact to direct.
Last section.
Section 4 of this act should take effect immediately.
Call roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libiskello, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 1219 by Senator Valesky, Senate Print 7180. Enact amend the agricultural markets law.
Last section.
Section 3 of this act should take effect immediately.
Call roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libiskello, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 1220 by Member of Assembly Farrell, Assembly Print 9394. Enact amend the tax law.
Last section.
Section 2 of this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libiskello, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 55, nays 2. Senators Kruger and Squadron recorded in the negative.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 1221 by Senator Farley, Senate Print 7397. Enact amend the economic development law.
Last section.
Section 2 of this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libiskello, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 1222 by Member of Assembly Barrett, Assembly Print 9215. Enact amend the agricultural markets law.
Last section.
Section 2 of this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libiskello, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 1223 by Senator Ranzenhofer, Senate Print 7503. Enact amend the corrections law.
Read the last section.
Section 2 of this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, D. Francisco, Klein, Libiskello, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin.
Senator Rivera to explain his vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. I stand quickly to explain my vote. As I've done in the past, when we're talking about bills that relate to sex offenders, I always believe that we should make a distinction between level 1, 2s, and 3s. I believe that certainly level 3s are people that we need to be protected from, and most of these bills that have to do where folks can work, where folks can live, where folks can study, whether it's a library or what have you, I do believe that we need to have those types of bills. In this particular instance, I do not see a distinction between the levels, so I would have to vote in the negative. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Rivera to be recorded in the negative. Senator Ranzenhofer to explain his vote.
Mr. President, this is a very, very important bill which will protect people in our neighborhoods and, most importantly, will protect the very people that we are charged to care for, and those are the people living in these group homes. This measure goes a long way to offering that protection, that safety for our very vulnerable people that live in our community. I vote aye. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Ransover to be recorded in the affirmative. Announce the results.
Ayes 56, nays 1. Senator Rivera, also Senator Montgomery. Ayes 55, nays 2.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 1224 by Senator Nozzolio, Senate Print 7734, enact amend the penal law.
Last section.
Section 2 of the statute take effect on the 1st of November.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 56, nays 1. Senator Perkins recorded in the negative.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 1225 by Member of the Assembly of Santa Barbara, Assembly Print 8479, enact amend Chapter 266 of the laws of 1981.
Read the last section.
Section 2 of the statute take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 1226 by Senator Seward, Senate Print 7764, enact amend the insurance law.
Last section.
Section 3 of the statute take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 1227 by Senator Hannan, Senate Print 7774, enactment Chapter 433 of the laws of 1997.
Read the last section.
Section 3 of the statute take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57.
The bill is passed. Senator Libous, that completes the non-controversial reading of today's calendar.
Mr. President, it does. Can we go to the controversial reading? No, could we call on Senator Valesky, please?
Senator Valesky.
Mr. President, would you lay calendar 445 aside for the day?
Calendar number 445 has been laid aside for the day. Senator Libous.
Senator Ransover has a resolution 5714. Could we read it in its entirety and then call on Senator Ransover?
Secretary will read resolution number 5714.
Legislative resolution number 5714 by Senator Ransover, commending Bunkers in Baghdad for his dedicated efforts in support of our armed service members at home and abroad. Whereas the quality and character of life in this nation and the great state of New York is reflective of the purposeful lives and good works of those patriotic and civic-minded community members who dedicate their lives and careers to the service of others. And whereas individuals and organizations devoted to improving the quality of life of members of the United States Armed Forces are deserving of the highest praise and recognition. And whereas, attendant to such concern in full accord with its long-standing traditions, this legislative body is justly proud to commend Bunkers in Baghdad for its dedicated efforts in support of our armed service members at home and abroad. And whereas Bunkers in Baghdad is a not-for-profit charity that collects and sends new and used golf balls, clubs, and equipment to our troops deployed in 30 countries around the world, with a focus on the brave men and women currently serving in combat zones. And whereas this esteemed organization has been highly active in New York State, providing numerous donations to members of the New York State National Guard on assignment overseas. In addition, they have made substantial contributions to soldiers stationed at Fort Drum, New York, and at Niagara Falls Air Force Base, as well as to Marines and Army recruiting stations across the state. And whereas Bunkers in Baghdad has admirably collected and shipped more than 5 million golf balls and over 150,000 golf clubs to troops serving overseas over the past 6 years. And whereas a proud supporter of the Wounded Warrior Project, Bunkers in Baghdad has provided golfing equipment to aid in the rehabilitation of injured soldiers at veterans hospitals across New York State and the entire country. And whereas through its Bunkers Buddies program, the group has worked with over 165 schools in 42 states, helping collect children's letters and pictures to be enclosed in golf care packages for our deployed troops. And whereas the recipient of numerous accolades, Bunkers in Baghdad had the honor of ringing the closing bell at the New York Stock Exchange in 2009. And whereas the sense of this legislative body that when individuals and associations of such noble aims and accomplishments are brought to our attention, they should be celebrated and recognized by all citizens of this great empire state. Now therefore be resolved that this legislative body pause in its deliberations to commend Bunkers in Baghdad for its dedicated efforts in support of our armed service members at home and abroad. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution suitably engrossed be transmitted to Joseph M. Hanna, Esquire, President of the founder of Bunkers in Baghdad.
Senator Ransenhofer.
Thank you, Mr. President. We are here today to commend the efforts and the great work of Bunkers in Baghdad. As you heard from the resolution, this is a not-for-profit organization which does a lot for our veterans and our military that are serving overseas. We are joined today in the gallery by, as you mentioned, the president and founder of Bunkers in Baghdad is Joe Hanna, and also with Joe today is Joshua Beams and Andrew Tramananta. This is an organization which has been in existence for only 6 years and has collected over 5 million golf balls and 150,000 golf clubs. If you just do the math, it's just an incredible undertaking by these very, very hard-working individuals. And they are committed to helping our veterans and our active military that are serving. When you are in the service, obviously you're putting your life on the line, but there's also a lot of free time that you have. And I think that this organization was created to help those individuals that are serving overseas to be active while they are not engaged at the moment. This organization has the support of 30 professional sports franchises across the state of New York, including the Buffalo Sabres, the Buffalo Bills, and the Buffalo Bisons, Syracuse Crunch, the New York Rangers, and the New York Islanders. They are also supported very strongly by Callaway Golf and Arnold Palmer Enterprises. They work with schools in the Bunkers Buddies program from Buffalo to Rochester, Albany, New York City, Long Island, and Syracuse. They also work with our VA hospitals all across the state, from Buffalo, Albany, Syracuse, Batavia, Bath, Dunkirk, Jamestown, Rochester, Rome, Brooklyn, New York City, Hicksville, and Staten Island. This is an organization which just in a few short years has done tremendous work. They work with the Wounded Warriors program. They help folks that are injured rehabilitate and get back into better health. They just do admirable, admirable work. And I just want to close by offering this chamber a challenge. So far, they have collected 5 million golf balls. I want to offer everybody in this chamber the opportunity to drop off your used or lightly used golf balls in my office to help this organization, because they can't do it by going out by themselves. It's groups like us, other groups across the state, which help them collect the golf balls and the golf clubs. So in the next 2 weeks, if you have some spare time, or you don't have some spare time because you're not able to get out on the golf course, and you have those golf balls lying around in your closet or in a golf bag, drop them off at my office, and I'm sure that the Bunkers in Baghdad organization, who is here with us today, will be very, very appreciative of those efforts. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Ransenhofer. Senator DeFrancisco.
Congratulations on your efforts. We participate in our office in the Cell Phones for Soldiers program, another great program that aids veterans. The only comment I want to make, I have played golf with Senator Ransenhofer before, and I'm not so sure giving the golf balls to him is the best way for you to gather golf balls, because he uses them at an incredible rate. He loses a lot of golf balls, and I would suggest you find another drop-off point to increase your efforts. So thank you very much.
The question is on the resolution. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? The resolution is adopted. We welcome you to the chamber and we commend you for your efforts. Thank you very much. Senator Libous?
We're going to stand at ease temporarily.
Senate will stand at ease.
These members, just to be fair to members, we are probably going to take on another calendar shortly.
So I'd ask members to remain close to the chamber. The Senate is at ease. Senate will come to order. Senator Libous.
Could we please have the reading of the supplemental active list dated June 10th, 2014?
Supplemental active list dated June 10, 2014. The Secretary will read.
On page 17, Senator DeLon moves a discharge from the Committee on Transportation, Assembly Bill number 3491A, and substitute the identical Senate Bill number 391A, third reading calendar 289.
Substitution so ordered, and the Secretary will read.
Calendar number 289 by Member of the Assembly Magnarelli, Assembly Print 3491A, enact amended vehicle and traffic law.
Last section.
Section 2 of the statute take effect on the 30th day.
Call roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bill is passed.
On page 19, Senator Grisanti moves a discharge from the Committee on Environmental Conservation, Assembly Bill number 4741, and substitute the identical Senate Bill number 3703B, third reading calendar 339.
Substitution so ordered, and the Secretary will read.
Calendar number 339 by Member of the Assembly Sweeney, Assembly Print 4741, enact to amend the Environmental Conservation Law.
Last section.
Section 2 of the statute take effect December 1, 2015.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 397 by Senator Klein, Senate Print 2437B, enact to amend the Education Law.
Last section.
Section 5, the statute take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57, nays 1. Senator Kachik recorded in the negative.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 416 by Senator Lanza, Senate Print 20.
Right aside for the day.
Calendar number 456 by Senator Maziar, Senate Print 6957, enact to amend the Public Service Law.
Last section.
Section 5, the statute take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bill is passed. Calendar number 580 is high by Senator Stavisky. Clerk will now go on to calendar number 609 by Senator Martins.
Calendar number 609 by Senator Martin, Senate Print 6921A, enact to amend the Public Authorities Law.
Last section.
Section 2 of the statute take effect January 1, 2015.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 617 by Senator Gallivan, Senate Print 93B, enact to amend the Environmental Conservation Law.
Last section.
Section 19, the statute take effect on the 1st of November.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Just Serrano. Ayes 57, nays 1. Senator Serrano recorded in the negative.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 659 by Senator Maziar, Senate Print 6450A, enact to amend the Vehicle and Traffic Law.
Last section.
Section 2, the statute take effect on the 120th day.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 693 by Senator Farley, Senate Print 2855, enact to amend the Education Law.
Last section.
Section 2, the statute take effect on the 1st of September.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 718 by Senator Young, Senate Print 2190B, enact to amend the Public Health Law.
Last section.
Section 3, the statute take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bills passed.
Calendar number 736 by Senator Grisanti, Senate Print 1710B, enact amend the real property tax law.
Last section.
Section 2, the statute take effect on the 120th day.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bills passed.
Calendar number 743 by Senator Little, Senate Print 6947, enact making certain findings.
There's a home rule message at the desk. Secretary will read.
Section 4, the statute take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bills passed.
Calendar number 757 by Senator Lanza, Senate Print 4162, enact amend the penal law.
Last section.
Section 2, the statute take effect on the 30th day.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bills passed.
Calendar number 765 by Senator Gallivan, Senate Print 7178, enact amend the criminal procedure law.
Last section.
Section 2, the statute take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58. Ayes. Ayes 56, nays 2. Senators Kruger and Squadron recorded in the negative.
Bills passed.
Calendar number 767 by Senator Nozzolio, Senate Print 7188, enact to amend the criminal procedure law.
Last section.
Section 2, the statute take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bills passed.
Calendar number 805 by Senator Young, Senate Print 6543B, enact to direct.
Read the last section.
Section 4, the statute take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bills passed.
Calendar number 823 by Senator Young, Senate Print 5124, enact to authorize.
There's a home rule message at the desk. The secretary will read.
Section 3, the statute take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bills passed.
Calendar number 845 by Senator Young, Senate Print 4334, enact amending executive law.
Last section.
Section 6, the statute should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bills passed.
Calendar number 862 by Senator Marchone, Senate Print 6952A, enact to amend the executive law.
Last section.
Section 2, the statute should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bills passed.
Calendar number 866 by Senator Lanza, Senate Print 7533, enact amend Chapter 154 of the laws of 1921.
Last section.
Section 2, the statute take effect upon the enactment into law.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bills passed.
Calendar number 869 by Senator Hannan, Senate Print 5811, enact amend the public health law.
Last section.
Section 3, the statute take effect on the 90th day.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bills passed.
Calendar number 872 by Senator Hannan, Senate Print 7150A, enact amend the public health law.
Read the last section.
Section 3, the statute take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bills passed.
Calendar number 875 by Senator Hannan, Senate Print 7271, enact to amend the public health law.
Last section.
Section 3, the statute take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
The bill's passed.
Calendar number 881 by Senator Young, Senate Print 2679A, enact to amend the general municipal law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, the statute take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 882 by Senator Young, Senate Print 3081A, enact amending municipal home rule law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
The bill is passed.
On page 52, Senator Ritchie moved to discharge from the Committee on Local Government Assembly Bill number 9380 and substituted the identical Senate Bill number 6668, third reading calendar 889.
Substitution is so ordered and the Secretary will read.
Calendar number 889 by Member of Assembly Galiff, Assembly Print 9380, enact amend the real property tax law.
Lay it aside.
On page 58, Senator Seward moves a discharge from the Committee on Insurance, Assembly Bill number 9604, and substitute the identical Senate Bill number 7317, third reading calendar 968.
Substitution so ordered. Secretary will read.
Calendar number 968 by Member of the Assembly Morelli, Assembly Print 9604, an act to amend the insurance law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous-Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 974 by Senator Larkin, Senate Print 6830A, an act to amend the state law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous-Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 1037 by Senator Adabo, Senate Print 7270, an act to amend Chapter 100 of the laws of 2013.
Last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous-Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin.
Senator Adabo to explain his vote.
I want to take a moment on behalf of my constituents in Breezy Point to say thank you to my colleagues for passing this extender. During Superstorm Sandy, over 500 homes were destroyed or damaged in Breezy Point, and many of my constituents are still homeless. And this extender allows them to deal with unique street frontage issues that are unique to Breezy Point. So once again, on behalf of my constituents, I want to say thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Adabo to be recording the affirmative. Announce the results.
Ayes 58.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 1107 by Senator Young, Senate Print 2619, act amended general municipal law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous-Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 1111 by Senator Little, Senate Print 3735, an act to direct.
There's a home rule message at the desk. Secretary will read.
Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous-Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bill's passed.
On page 72, Senator DeFrancisco moved to discharge from the Committee on Rules Assembly Bill number 8725A and substitute the identical Senate Bill number 6193B, third reading calendar 1115.
Substitution is so ordered, and Secretary will read.
Calendar number 1115 by Member of the Assembly Sturpey, Assembly Print 8725A, an act in relation to certain agreement.
Last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous-Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57, nays 1. Senator Kruger recorded in the negative.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 1116 by Senator Gallivan, Senate Print 6568, an act to enact.
Last section.
Section 10, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous-Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 1118 by Senator Flanagan, Senate Print 6694B, an act authorizing.
There's a home rule message at the desk. Secretary will read.
Section 7, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous-Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 1119 by Senator O'Mara, Senate Print 6786, an act in relation to making certain findings.
There's a home rule message present at the desk. Secretary will read.
Section 5, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous-Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 1120 by Senator Farley, Senate Print 6833A, an act to establish.
Last section.
Section 5, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous-Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 1121 by Senator Ritchie, Senate Print 6975, an act to legalize, validate, and ratify.
There's a home rule message present at the desk. Secretary will read.
Section 5, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous-Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 1122 by Senator DeFrancisco, Senate Print 7030, an act to amend Chapter 690 of the laws of 1937.
There's a home rule message present at the desk. Secretary will read.
Section 3, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous-Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 1123 by Senator O'Mara, Senate Print 7046, an act to amend the town law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous-Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bill's passed.
On page 73, Senator Avella moved to discharge from the Committee on Transportation Assembly Bill number 280C and substitute the identical Senate Bill number 7089, third reading calendar 1124.
Substitution is so ordered, and the Secretary will read.
Calendar number 1124 by Member of the Assembly Kim, Assembly Print 280C, An act to amend the public authorities law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect on the 90th day.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57, nays 1. Senator Dilan recorded in the negative.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 1127 by Senator Laval, Senate Print 7133A, an act in relation to.
Last section.
Section 4, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 1132 by Senator Farley, Senate Print 7279, an act to amend Chapter 168 of the laws of 2012.
There's a home rule message present at the desk. Secretary will read.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bill is passed.
On page 74, Senator Grisanti moved to discharge from the Committee on Local Government Assembly Bill number 9231 and substitute the identical Senate Bill number 7388, third reading calendar 1133.
Substitution so ordered. Secretary will read.
Calendar number 1133 by Member of Assembly Ryan, Assembly Print 9231, an act to amend the village law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bill is passed.
On page 74, Senator Bonasek moved to discharge from the Committee on Rules, Assembly Bill number 9443, and substitute the identical Senate Bill number 7479, third reading calendar 1134.
Substitution so ordered, and Secretary will read.
Calendar number 1134 by Member of the Assembly Gunther, Assembly Print 9443, an act to amend the town law.
Last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 1135 by Senator Martin, Senate Print 7498, an act to amend the Nassau County Civil Divisions Act.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57, nays 1. Senator Kruger recorded in the negative.
And the bill is passed.
Calendar number 1136 by Senator Martin, Senate Print 7596A, an act authorizing.
Home rule message is present at the desk. Secretary will read.
Section 6, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 57, nays 1. Senator Kruger recorded in the negative.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 1153 by Senator Grisanti, Senate Print 7666A, an act to amend the real property tax law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 1154 by Senator O'Mara, Senate Print 7675, an act to amend the local finance law.
There's a home rule message present at the desk. The Secretary will read.
Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
The bill is passed.
The next.
Secretary will continue.
Calendar number 1267 by Senator Hoylman, Senate Print 7093, an act to amend the penal law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin. Ayes 58.
The bill is passed. Senator Libous, that completes non-controversial reading of the supplemental active list of June 10th, 2014.
Could we do the controversial reading of the supplemental active list?
The Secretary will ring the bell. Secretary will read.
Calendar number 889 by Member of Assembly Galiff, Assembly Print 9380, an act to amend the real property tax law.
An explanation has been requested by Senator Kruger. Senator Ritchie. Can I have some order in the chamber, please? Senator Ritchie.
This bill is a straight extender. Legislation was originally enacted in 2001. It established the ability of local taxing jurisdictions to negotiate tax agreements with nuclear power facilities located within their jurisdiction.
Through you, Mr. President, the sponsor would please yield.
Senator Ritchie, do you yield?
Yes.
Senator Kruger.
How many nuclear power plants are participating in this program currently?
Senator Kruger, I could not answer that question. This
Senator-
bill gives local communities the ability to enter into an agreement, and it gives the local community control.
Through you, Mr. President, if the sponsor would continue to yield.
Senator Ritchie, do you yield?
Yes.
Senator Kruger, you may continue.
Thank you. So we don't know how many power plants are already using this pilot alternative to paying a property tax. Has there been any analysis of any location where we can take a look and see how much they are receiving in a pilot versus where they would be projected, the amount they would projected to receive if they just continued like other utilities under a normal property tax assessment?
I was asked by Oswego County, which has 3 nuclear facilities located there, to put this extender in. And as the assessments were before this bill, it was pretty tough for them to figure out what a stable tax rate was. So this bill actually allows them to enter in an agreement so they can have a pilot if they so choose, so that the community will know during that 15-year period what the tax rate will be.
Through you, Mr. President, on the bill.
Senator Kruger on the bill.
I thank the sponsor for her answers to my questions. Here's my dilemma. I do understand that the history with certain utilities and apparently with nuclear utilities is that they like to fight the assessments that the local communities they are in apply to them. They are large corporations with deep pockets, with lots of lawyers. And so they, apparently based on what has gone on in various parts of the country, and I believe New York State, I don't know if Oswego County is the case, they have succeeded in wearing down their local governments who really don't think they can afford to have these.
May I have some order in the chamber, please?
Thank you, Mr.
Senator Kruger,
President.
you may continue.
Thank you, Mr. President. So these towns find themselves outgunned in their ability to successfully assess these large corporate utilities and get the property tax they deserve. So they may believe that a longer-term pilot arrangement in negotiations with the utility allows them to have a continuous stream of tax revenue. And that, by the way, may be true, that they get a continuous stream of tax revenue, but they get it at a much lower rate than is appropriate and should be appropriately assessed on these utilities. So my frustration here is not with the towns who I empathize with and the counties, but with the fact that we've set up a system where we leave our localities unprotected and uninsured by us, the state of New York, to negotiate legitimate property tax assessments. After all, if you're a small town, you would find it very difficult to have the resources to challenge an international nuclear corporation. They could have more lawyers on staff than you might even have workers in your town. And yet this provides the corporation the out that they want without any ability to determine whether over time, and this would extend the law through 2031. The law was 2001 till now. This extends till 2031. Towns may go into deals that are absolutely not in their financial best interests. They simply have been outmanned and outgunned in negotiations. I think this is an outcome of the mistakes we made with deregulation of our energy industry, and that the state of New York actually ought to come up with a mechanism to assure that these localities can have adequate representation in negotiations to assure that they have the plant, they are taking on the costs and burdens of that plant, they should have the right to be able to assess and receive property taxes from that site. We shouldn't leave them out there unable to successfully fight for their own property taxes. Rather than extending this law till 2031, I would far prefer that we took on developing a law that said the state of New York should represent the localities in their negotiations on property tax with the utility companies, so that the localities aren't left hanging, but rather the state of New York, with our power, with our expertise, through our state agencies, through tax and finance, through the Division of Real Property, ORD. I forgot what the D. Orcus, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President, within tax and finance, that with their expertise, they could in fact negotiate fair taxes with these large utilities. So I appreciate what the sponsor is trying to do. I appreciate that her locality came to her and asked for this extension. I believe that if we all had the dialogue, and I don't know how many utilities this is applying to right now in New York State, the sponsor doesn't either, I think we could end up with a far better result if, rather than extending this law till 2031, we actually created a mechanism where the state of New York would take on the responsibility for assuring that the correct assessment was negotiated with each utility company wherever they were in the state of New York, and it would be a win for the communities and, frankly, a win for the state, because we know when corporations aren't paying their fair share, then somebody else has to come up with that revenue, or that community turns to us saying, help, we don't have the money we need to meet our basic service needs. And we also know that when there's a large utility somewhere, there are real costs and impacts on that community. So I personally believe they deserve our help, but not this way. I'll be voting no, Mr. President.
Thank you. Seeing and hearing no other senator who wishes to be heard, debate is closed. The secretary will ring the bell. Members, take their seats, please. Read the last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, DeFrancisco, Klein, Libous, Skelos, Stewart, Cousins, Zeldin.
Senator Ritchie to explain her vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. And though I respect Senator Kruger's comments, she forgot one critical part. Not only does it stabilize the rates for the local community, it actually is to their benefit to protect and make sure that the hundreds of jobs from those 3 nuclear facilities are kept in Oswego County. Each and every time the unemployment rates come out, Oswego posts one of the highest numbers, and those jobs at the 3 nuclear facilities are sought-after jobs. They're high-paying. There's a line of people who are looking to get in there. So not only does this bill help local communities stabilize their tax rates, it also helps protect those hundreds of jobs that are in Oswego County. I vote yes, Mr. President.
Senator Ritchie to be recorded in the affirmative. Announce the results.
In relation to calendar 889, those recorded in the negative are Senators Kruger and Squadron. Absent from voting, Senators Bonasek, Espaillat, Parker, and Sanders. Ayes 52, nays 2.
Parker.
Nope.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Secretary will re-announce the results.
In relation to calendar 889, those recorded in the negative are Senators Kruger and Squadron. Absent from voting, Senators Bonasek, Espaillat, and Sanders. Ayes 53, nays 2.
The bill is passed. Senator Libous.
Is there any further business at the desk, sir?
Senator Libous, that completes the reading of the controversial calendar.
All right, now I'll make my statement. Is there any further business at the desk?
There is no further business before the desk.
All right, today we're not going to adjourn until November. We're going to adjourn until June 11th at 11:30 a.m.
On motion, the Senate will stand adjourned until Wednesday, June 11th at 11:30 a.m.
Thank you.
Senate stands adjourned.
This is an unofficial announcement.
Senator Libous.
Since the Senate has already adjourned.